I wake. You try that again. I welcome you all to the MJ Morning Show here on a Tuesday. And thanks to all the folks reaching out via social media, email, asking about Chloe. She's on the road to recovery. Just listen, a very common thing. You know, I can't tell you how many people, women in this building said, hey, I had an ovarian cyst as well. So, you know, and some folks were like, how dare you talk about this on the air? How dare you post the picture of Chloe in the ER? She approved of it. She didn't have a problem. She's a product of the social media generation. Look, we as parents have tried to tamp that down dramatically, but you know, she's like, yeah, you can post it, no problem. It's not an issue. It's extremely common. It sucks apparently, and she had some rough patches yesterday. But I think that hopefully she's over the hump because she devoured some chicken fingers and what do you call that stuff? The macaroni and cheese. Who's the restaurant dude with the that they sell at the supermarket?
Gordon Ramsay?
No, Gordon Ramsay macaroni.
Fieri?
No. It's it's in the grocer's refrigerator or freezer, whatever.
All of these guys have their own lines. You know.
And Bob Evans.
I wasn't going to guess that.
Never heard of him.
You said that guy.
Yeah.
You personified him instead of saying that.
What was there ever a Bob? Who the hell was Bob Evans?
I'm sure at one point there was a Bob Evans, but the way you personified him, you made him sound almost like he lived in this century.
That's it. Both Julian and Chloe love that Bob Evans supermarket macaroni and cheese, which has, I think, a year's supply of salt and fat.
Oh, don't be like that.
Well,
it has a year's supply. It's not true.
Well, because that's called Tuesday for you, Fester.
Okay, so speaking of Tuesdays,
Yes.
Did you know that Gordon Ramsay does have his own line of
macaroni and cheese?
Well, all kinds of meals. I had the Gordon Ramsay shepherd's pie.
Yeah, I know that.
From Walmart. It was on point.
Well, hang on a second. Shepherd's pie in the United States at Walmart? Really? From Gordon. I'll tell you right now that Gordon Ramsay has a fish and chips place right off Times Square, I think on 44th Street, right off 44th and Broadway.
That's what it's called, right? Gordon Ramsay's Fish and Chips.
It is. It's called.
I'll name it what I want, you donkey.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know the other Gordon Ramsay stuff today?
It's Gordon
Ramsay news?
No, seriously, there's a Gordon Ramsay fish and chip store, which
I heard it was good.
And who'd you hear it was good from?
Somebody I follow on YouTube. They're a food reviewer.
Let me tell you what I wanted to do. Hey, can you do me a favor, Roxanne? Can you look up Gordon Ramsay's Fish and Chips on 44th Street in Manhattan in New York City? Can you look up?
I'm sure it exists. What am I looking for?
Do a search and tell me what the Google reviews say. What number does it have? What rating does it have on Google?
TripAdvisor.
No. Gordon Ramsay Fish and Chips, Manhattan,
looking.
and then it'll come up with the.
She's looking.
It's the Google thing. Yeah.
Do you know the big Gordon Ramsay news today?
Yeah, I saw something. Did somebody take over his restaurant somewhere?
Not somebody. Multiple people.
What do you mean took it over?
What's the story? Oh, here it is. Gordon Ramsay's pub has been taken over by squatters.
What the hell?
In London? You know what? A lot of the squatter stories are popping up again. And remember, we did a whole segment on the squatting a couple of months ago, month and a half ago, because that infuriates me, and that also fascinates me that somebody could come into your home or a property that you own and then squat. And if you try to forcibly throw them out, you could get arrested. That makes no sense to me.
Wish I thought of that while you were in New York.
We need to take a we need to take a stance against these squatters. In fact, I believe here in Florida, didn't Governor DeSantis sign some legislation to protect people against squatters here in Florida?
He did.
Yeah, that happened a couple of weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. But there are places in the country, like in New York and California, where like squatters can break into your place, take over, and then it's like you, the owner or the landlord, that you're the bad guy. It's like, what freaking upside down world planet is this? All right, so Did you find the Gordon
Yeah.
Ramsay review on? Because Froggy's friend says it's really good.
Not my
I'm
friend, a reviewer that I saw on YouTube.
I'm sorry. I'm
I don't know
sorry.
this person.
I'm sorry.
It's like this little midget kid who goes around and eats food. Or he has some sort of dwarfism.
I'll tell you what I'd love to do. I'd love to go to Gordon Ramsay's Fish and Chips next time I'm in Manhattan and just roll in. And I'm sure if you go online and find like Gordon Ramsay segments on YouTube, or maybe there's a whole list of Gordon Ramsay's greatest insults list. You just go into Gordon Ramsay's Fish and Chips and you just berate the employees with actual Gordon Ramsay lines.
Yeah. What do you expect? It's a guy's restaurant. That's how he acts.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So he's got 4 out of 5 stars overall. And then you've got good stuff like
No, but what number? What's the rating?
4.
No, it's
4 out of 5.
Yeah, but what's the
4.0.
Yeah. It's an even 4.0?
Yeah, an even 4.0. 4
Okay.
out of 5.
Oh, here it is. All right, so
And
yeah.
so
all right.
he's got, if you're expecting English-style quality fish and chips, give this place a miss. So somebody didn't like it.
Yeah, you know what? I got to be honest. You know, when we visited Chloe a couple of times in Scotland, and we, went to London, there is, you know what they call it over there? The British, they call it proper fish and chips, and
Ugh.
What?
I just think they're so great. Proper. Everything's got to be proper.
And then I can't imagine that Gordon Ramsay's Fish and Chips in Times Square in Manhattan, I can't imagine that I would be satisfied with that after eating just amazing fish and chips in Anstruther in Scotland, or in London, some of the famous places.
Of course,
or
when you
some,
go there.
Some of the fish and chips places
How
that
could
we
you
ate
even bother?
in Edinburgh, for instance. I can't imagine that that I'd be happy with Gordon Ramsay's Fish and Chips in a
Probably
big
not.
tourist trap area
Oh, can't even imagine.
of Manhattan.
Oh, disgusting.
Can't even imagine.
Throw it away.
Oh, get this out of my face. All right. Have you been to Long John Silver's?
For real, that's another
That's a good place. You get some of those little
Hush
crunchies.
puppies. Ooh.
Hush puppies. The crunchies are the best.
Remember, you could just go buy a bag
of crunchies.
of batter.
That's
Just
ridiculous.
buy a whole.
I'll take a bag of
buy
batter, please.
buy a whole bag of battered crunchies.
You gotta be a real pig.
Listen, LJS, bro. Chicken planks and fish planks back in the day. Oh, man.
I love that place.
And who could forget popcorn shrimp?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What was the other fish place? Long John Silver.
Boy, there's a place
Captain
called...
D's.
Captain D's.
Yeah, Captain D's, man.
That place was good. I love
in
that.
New York,
D.
there's a place called Arthur Treacher's.
Oh, I've been to Arthur Treacher's before. They used to have Arthur Treacher's in Florida.
Yeah, I remember. I once went to Arthur Treacherous.
Oh.
Yeah, that was, no, but also with what time is it? 6:08. With fish and chips, you have typically the option over in London or Scotland. You have an option of like cod or haddock, and most, it seems, over there prefer the haddock. Just a little bit more flavor to the fish. Anyway, we ought to do this. Can you imagine? Has anyone gone into Gordon Ramsay's Fish and Chips restaurant in Times Square? Again, like roll video as you roll in, and you just berate and just pounce with all the famous Gordon Ramsay lines. Like, Froggy, what do you remember?
I just love it when he calls people a donkey, and then he smashes like a hamburger in their face. I remember that episode.
Could you get in trouble if you were just imitating the boss?
Of course not.
I think that'd be fully acceptable. All right, 6:09 at the MJ Morning Show. Just getting rolling. How the hell did we turn the whole show open into freaking fish and chips?
Dude, there's one in Orlando. We don't have to go to New York.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw that one.
There's a
in
Gordon
Orlando.
Ramsay's in Orlando?
Yeah, the same place where that big tower fell with dropped the kid 2 years ago.
Great.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Icon Park.
Oh, my. On International Drive, on
Yes,
iDrive?
Yes.
All right, 6:09, traffic's on. MJ Morning Show back in a minute.
Well, I found one little.
Hey, Roxanne.
Hey, MJ.
What you looking at? No, just isn't that a Madonna? Isn't that part of that song? What you looking at?
Yeah, it is.
That's like a. What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they should have done in that.
What you talking about?
That's what Madonna should have done in that song. What you talking about, Willis? Anyway, still like some lingering, kind of mediocre to lousy reviews for Madonna for her stop in Tampa, week and a half ago or so. 6:22 at the what?
Didn't she have something else happen recently too, where she had got some bad reviews because she started freaking out because it was too cold in the? Did you hear about that?
Mm-mm.
It was last week. It was too cold in one of the places that she was performing, and she had a fit on stage.
Andrew just said in my ear, Miami.
Miami. Okay.
Yeah. Was she performing at the former American Airlines Arena, whatever they call it now? What is that called down there now? Where the Heat play? Any idea?
Where do the Heat?
It doesn't matter. Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
The Casilla Center?
I have no idea. Anyway, so you got the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. And Roxanne, you found this, and I did not see this. I've since seen it, but you gave this to me yesterday. We just didn't get around to it. Busy Monday. The insane octopus story.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. You can buy an octopus as a pet?
I didn't realize that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I guess you can buy anything,
A lot of guys have aquariums with octopus.
I want a great white shark in my aquarium.
You need to be a pretty reasonable size aquarium.
What is the plural for octopus?
Octopi, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not. It's octopi.
Okay.
You were off, weren't you?
This is a story about a mother and father that bought their octopus. I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Obsessed. Yeah. So this mother and father bought their kid who has been octopus obsessed since
that's crazy.
Birth. Bought the kid an octopus, and then the story is that the octopus wrecked their house.
So the octopus?
What?
Yes, because
okay,
they can climb out of their tank.
It grabbed the lighter and lit the house on fire. No, I'm kidding. Well, listen, they say that octopi are very, very smart. I think we've all seen My Octopus Teacher, right?
They can get into a very tiny place, like the size of a nickel or something.
Listen, I've seen plenty of octopi. When I was just scuba diving last with Chloe in Indonesia, I saw probably a dozen octopus. In fact, if you take a look at my Instagram, one of the videos from back in late January, early February is an octopus completely out of its hole in a formation, in the sand, and the octopus turns colors right in front of me. And then you see the octopus kind of just swim with the tentacles extended into its little safety hole, into its home. And it's really cool. That video, I took the video with my GoPro, and it's on my Instagram. If you just scroll down, you can find the video. Well, a whole bunch of really, cool videos from my Indonesia Raja Ampat scuba trip with Chloe.
I did not see My Octopus Teacher, but I have heard that it is an amazing movie.
You ought to watch that with your kids.
Are you being facetious? Or is it like sometimes you tell me to watch movies?
It's about a killer octopus.
No, it's not about a killer octopus. Will you stop it?
Is it adult themed?
No, it's not adult themed.
Isn't it a bunch of octopus in a tornado that kills people?
Will you stop it? Obviously, if I'm saying you ought to watch Pulp Fiction this weekend with your kids, I'm joking.
But I haven't seen My Octopus Teacher. I don't know if it ends in a strangulation or something.
There's no strangulation. Right?
That'd be a heck of an ending.
It's a great documentary. You as a skeptic, I kind of question, how much is real, how much is a little bit contrived. Does the story really unfold? It's still absolutely worth the watch, and it's amazing. So, what is this insane story about the octopus? A 9-year-old kid had a dream of having a pet octopus. So the parents, I guess, give in and get the kid an octopus, but then the octopus wrecks the house?
Yeah, because of what's inside of it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird.
Here's the Daily Mail headline. Family who got their 9-year-old son a pet octopus reveal how it upended their life and destroyed their home after giving birth to 50 babies. So they got their hands on a pregnant octopus?
Yep.
Jeez, that's a lot of babies.
Yeah, and the family was told that the eggs were unfertilized, and once the eggs get released and they drop out like a chandelier, that it's near the end of the female octopus's
Octopuses are
lifespan.
Well, true. An octopus, once they give birth or once they deliver the eggs, I believe the octopus dies.
Shortly after.
Yeah, shortly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's part of the sadness in My Octopus Teacher. Oh, my God, I just gave it away. I'm a spoiler. 5 years after the damn thing came out? So Cameron Clifford, a 36-year-old dentist, this was like in Oklahoma, bought a female octopus for their son for Cal's 9th birthday.
How nice.
They should have just gotten the kid an octopus cake from the cake girl. All right?
Real.
Yeah, it'd been a lot easier.
It would have been. It wouldn't have. I can guarantee you now that the cake girl's birthday cake is not going to wreck your home.
Yeah, and if they want little baby octopus cupcakes, she could have done those too. But no, they got real ones.
An Oklahoma family had no idea that a birthday gift for their 9-year-old son would lead to the birth of 50 octopus babies, numerous water tanks that took over half of the bathroom, and thousands of dollars on food supplies and water damage repairs. Cameron Clifford, a 36-year-old dentist, said his son Cal has been obsessed with octopuses since the age of 3. Every birthday, every Christmas, every holiday, every Wednesday, he would always say, "All I want is an octopus."
Aww.
In October, Clifford made a call to a local aquarium store and acquired a female California 2-spot octopus for Cal's 9th birthday. They named her Terrence.
All right.
Terrence is a man's name. I don't know.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Terrence turned out to be...
Sounds like they let this brat do anything he wants. Name a girl a boy. Get your octopus.
Yeah, sounds like this kid is running roughshod over this whole damn house. All right. I want a golden goose, Daddy.
Not a goose.
I want a golden octopus.
There you go.
Terrence turned out to be larger than expected, soon began laying eggs. Clifford documented the journey on social media. Videos have, I guess, been seen by millions of individuals. And they were spending a fortune, I guess, on food. And then there was water damage from the tanks.
Were they splashing water out of the tank?
Do not get a pet octopus unless you're ready to lose sleep and your kid's college fund simultaneously, the father told USA Today. When Clifford told his son that they could order an octopus from a local aquarium, the 9-year-old immediately burst into tears. His ultimate dream, his cloud 9, the greatest thing that he could possibly happen in his life was to become an owner of an octopus.
What a dork.
But it turned into a nightmare. The father began preparing for the arrival of the pet that they named Terrence. Clifford ordered a saltwater tank, a water cycling system, and food supplies for Terrence, mostly from Facebook Marketplace.
Nice.
He thought it would cost around $600.
Jeez.
Yeah, I think they're about 60 grand in now with all kinds of...
That's weird. I follow a YouTube channel with a lady that lives with a spider monkey, and that thing just destroys her house. It swings from the lights.
Oh, it probably poops all over the place.
Yeah, it jumps on her dog and rides it like a horse. And that thing destroys the house. I don't see how an octopus could do much damage. I mean, popping out a bunch of kids.
So have you seen the tank that he has with the tower of cups with individual baby octopuses?
Yes.
That's gross.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what the most important thing is that you need to know about octopus. Do you want to know what that is?
What?
That they're delicious
Yeah,
fried.
Yes, they're
That's right, baby.
delicious. Olive oil, salt, and pepper. And actually, my daughter and I love octopus. And I'm like shocked she was eating it when she was like 4. And I'm taking video of her and posting it. And then I get a couple little rude comments like, "How dare you eat an octopus?" Because all these people saw my octopus teacher, and they're like humans, supposedly.
But also, well, they're not like humans, but the intelligence level of an octopus is, they say it's like smarter than a dog.
Yeah, eat them up. You get more brain power.
See, look at this thing. I'm watching the spider monkey. He just opened the fridge and he took like milk out of it. Look at this thing. Look at the spider monkey.
I believe you.
It's awesome.
All right,
I don't think you're lying.
It's awesome. I want a spider monkey.
Right. So what is Froggy doing? He's watching videos of a spider monkey opening the fridge and taking food out. Yeah.
That's him eating
No,
He's eating.
but octopuses are supposed to be remarkably intelligent. Oh, and there are some people that believe that they're actually alien creatures, that octopuses were aliens from another planet that got stuck on Earth.
Oh, that's a shame.
And they obviously did not try to kill all of society like in a Tom Cruise movie or something. All right, 6:32 at the MJ Morning Show. So just a word of advice. Yeah, don't get your kid a pet octopus. They spent thousands of dollars on clams and crabs and snails. There were costs to repair damage to the house from water spills, and they had a small electrical fire. So,
One of the filters overheated?
Just warning, Will Robinson. Warning. When your 9-year-old kid is like, I want an octopus, tell him, no octopus for you. Except at the sushi bar where they call it taco.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in Japanese, octopus is taco, T-A-K-O. And it is delicious. But I'm also fascinated by them when I see them scuba diving. So, I mean, my life is such a contradiction.
You're
All right,
conflicted.
6:33 at the MJ Morning Show. When we get back, early morons in the news. And a phenomenal pile of morons next here on the MJ Morning Show. Garage door. Here we go at 6:42, running just a little late. My apologies if you were expecting Morons to start just a smidge earlier. Early Morons in the news, MJ and the crew here. What does somebody do with 140 shopping carts that they stole from a store? I mean, are you selling them to another store? And a lot of times the name of the store is like on the handle, right?
No, you're having races in them.
Yeah, I mean,
You're
so many.
yeah.
things.
Oh, bum fights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, remember those videos? Oh, Froggy, I'm sure you bought them all. I'm sure.
I used to love bum fights.
Didn't they like have bums like
Fight.
No, I realize that, but weren't there some
Shopping cart pushing where they'd fall
yeah,
over.
Didn't they like some of the bums? It's really terrible to say this, but didn't they have some of the bums get in shopping carts and get pushed down hills?
Yes.
Or is that like a Jackass movie? I'm trying to remember.
Both.
Maybe it was both.
I think it is both.
I think you're right. I think it is both. 2 men arrested in New Jersey and Newark, career criminals, and they stole 140 shopping carts. How do you carry? Where do you put 140 shopping carts?
It's not like you could stack those things.
Listen to this. Cops arrested 77-year-old Alfredo Rodriguez. Hey, Alfie. At 77 years old, stealing 140 shopping carts, man, is no way to go through life, son.
That's quite a heist.
Yeah, and it's actually quite a physical feat, too, if you think about it. I mean, he's got to be in great shape for a 70-some-year-old.
Nobody knows how many shopping carts were stolen. 140, 150. Some are saying 200 shopping carts.
Alfredo!
It's the biggest shopping cart heist ever.
Alfie, you son of a bitch! You did it! Oh, he got busted. Damn.
2 men arrested, allegedly stealing the shopping carts. On any given day, there are typically, I guess, 400 to 500 shopping carts available at the ShopRite in Rochelle Park, New Jersey. But it was noticed that in March and early April that there were considerably less shopping carts available. So these guys were ripping off shopping carts from ShopRite, which is a chain up in, New York, New Jersey area. Yeah.
How long over a period of time do they acquire these carts?
By the way, hey, Mom, what's for dinner? ShopRite has the answer. That was a little jingle when I was a kid. Yeah.
Please don't do that again.
Fun to know.
What? Hey, Mom, what's for dinner?
Just sing in general.
Andrew just sang it. How do you know what that jingle was?
I know everything.
Oh, get out of here.
Andrew!
Yeah, Andrew knew the jingle. He was like finishing it before I even said it on the air. Anyway, what do you do with, and the handles are all branded ShopRite. What do you do with these things?
Do you sell them on Facebook Marketplace?
I don't know.
Do you recycle them? Do you scrap the metal?
Maybe they're a business of selling shopping carts to some of the shopping cart ladies that, are kind of homeless and push shopping carts around.
They don't buy shopping carts, okay? It's not like this is a shopping cart dealership where homeless people go.
I know.
for that one.
They steal them as well.
Yes.
I get it.
I paid $50 for this and it has a wobbly wheel.
The local vagrant takes one, and they kind of incorporate that into the price.
And then they build around it.
Yes, they don't steal 140 and create the Chattanooga choo-choo out of it.
Are you ready? Are you ready for a pizza dough assault here in town?
Yeah, please.
All right. A man behind bars after throwing a wad of pizza dough at his roommate's head.
That's like a fantasy.
Yeah, it is.
That's called foreplay at my house.
Yeah, Joseph Trussell, 32, was making pizza Thursday evening last week. Got into a conversation with his roommate, Elvis Singleton. So
he's all shook up.
Joseph is 32. His roommate, Elvis.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. is 62. And this happened right here in St. Petersburg. While preparing the pizza, Trussell told cops that Singleton started making sounds like coughing in a way that was to irritate him. Oh, the old irritating coughing sounds. And then can I finish the story?
Sure.
Trussell also reported hearing voices telling him how to make the pizza.
Well, that helps.
Here's how you make the pizza. Hey, first you take the dough and you flatten it out. Use your fingers.
Wait, what was that first part?
So is this guy not right? He's hearing voices in his head.
Well, that's easier than having to look at your phone or your computer to get the recipe.
Yeah, so Trussell threw a piece of the dough on the floor and then threw it at the victim. Struck Singleton in the head as he was seated in the dining room at the table. Police reported there was no visible bruising. I mean, listen, how much could a ball of pizza dough hurt if you get hit with it?
I mean, close range.
Are we sure it wasn't frozen?
Yeah, I was saying, that's the next question I had. Was it frozen?
Well, then if it's frozen, you can't make it into a ball.
Because there are pizza doughs that you can buy at the supermarket, but I don't know if those are frozen. Aren't those like in your grocer's freezer? Or your grocer's refrigerator?
You can buy frozen
The pizza
Dough?
dough?
Yeah.
I'm sure you can.
I have no idea.
Yeah, listen, if I'm going to make pizza, I'm going to make my dough from scratch with some,
Of course.
some Caputo 00. That's the only way to go.
Duh.
But then you're going to throw it at somebody's head.
Well, for Neapolitan, but I would alter it if I'm doing a different.
You know the
kind of-
best water for pizza I heard?
Toilet?
Camp Lejeune. Gives it a little extra taste.
Camp Lejeune water for your pizza dough.
A whole line's coming out. Pizza dough, bottled water.
Anyway, Trisselt reportedly admitted that he threw the pizza dough at his roommate's head because he was making coughing sounds that he did not like. He was arrested for misdemeanor battery, booked into the Pinellas County Jail. Last I saw, he was still locked up on $1,150 bond, charged with criminal mischief for allegedly also breaking a piece of furniture in Elvis's room.
Oh, no. They really threw the book
That's
at
my
this
room, baby.
Oh, bad. The judge ordered the younger roommate, Trisselt, to have no contact with Elvis, the 62-year-old roommate.
Isn't that a big age gap for roommates?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I was.
good point.
I meant to go there. That's why I pointed out 32 and 62.
Maybe they're a couple.
It's a 30-year gap in roommates. This Trisselt guy, the pizza dough tosser, was busted last year for also walloping Singleton.
Oh, walloped you.
Because then Trisselt said that Singleton's coughing noises caused him to punch the victim. Oh, my God.
How annoying is his cough?
In the face.
Oh.
So we have a history of this guy Trisselt being really PO'd at his roommate's coughing.
It's one for the money, or two for the dough. Would you stop it, damn it?
Hold on.
No,
I'm the cougher. I'm the cougher.
Did you say one for the money, two for the
dough?
For the dough.
Pizza dough. One for the money, or two for the dough. I want to start coughing now. Once you go.
I didn't want that to get buried, man.
Damn it. He stepped on my blue suede shoe.
It was actually pretty funny. 6:50 at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Got some new OJ news we got to get to. Yeah, new OJ news.
It's going to trickle out now.
Yeah. Well, there's actually something I'm very excited about. And we actually brought this up yesterday on where it was, but there's like a new element to the story. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think I do.
Yeah, all right,
Just
hold
by the
on.
hints you've given.
Yeah. OJ related. And you've heard of a Nepo baby, right? That whole thing, nepotism.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're privileged. Oh, they're a Nepo baby.
Yeah, born into it.
I saw like an anti-Nepo baby story that I thought was really, really cool that I wanted to tell you about. And we'll do that next. Don't move. Right here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Yeah, 7 o'clock exactly at the MJ Morning Show. If it's 7 o'clock, what does that mean, Fester? It is exactly 1 hour away from what?
Meow.
Yeah, exactly. Let me hear you do that again.
Meow.
Look at that, Fester, the human cat sound effects machine. Yeah, so an hour from now, 8 o'clock, we'll give you the next Cash Kitty keyword, which then you... All right, you can stop now. Please stop. Stop. I mean, really, stop. Stop.
All right.
8 o'clock, 1 hour from now, we'll give you the next word that you text, enter on the Q105 app or at myq105.com, and you could win $1,000. And that happens multiple times a day, 8 a.m., right in the middle of the MJ Morning Show, then 10 a.m. right after the MJ Morning Show, and then 12 noon, and then 3 and 5 p.m. The Cash Kitty is back with thousands every single day that you could win here on Q105. Stand by. So what did I bring up on yesterday's program, Fester? About we found out where it was. Do you have enough clues? We found out where it was being held, and now they're thinking about selling it.
Yeah, the white Bronco from the O.J. Simpson chase?
That is correct. 100% correct. So the owners of the Ford Bronco, which is being kept up at some kind of, is it like an automotive museum?
It's in Pigeon Forge, so it's like a tourist trap. Can you go see it?
Yeah. So I believe so. The Ford Bronco, which A.C. Cowlings was driving. Remember the old call on to the police? This is A.C. I've got O.J. in the back, or whatever the story was. So the infamous white Ford Bronco, it's a 93 white Ford Bronco, which O.J. Simpson was in that low-speed chase across Los Angeles. You know, with the whole O.J. Simpson death and the revitalization of all that footage, you know, it was amazing that as this was being covered live and people realized that they were driving on the 405 freeway, and the people that were able to get to the overpasses by the hundreds, and they're hanging off and they're waving and cheering as as the news helicopters were following the low-speed chase. But here's the deal. The white Ford Bronco apparently could finally be up for sale. And the owners are hoping to get, you're not going to believe this.
Ooh. Oh, man.
How much do you think the owners are going to try to get for the O.J. Simpson white Ford Bronco? Again, it's a 1993 full-size, that old-style Bronco. All right, Froggy, how much do you think the owners will try to get for the O.J. Simpson white Ford Bronco?
$9,000, Pat.
No. Fester, how much do you think the owners will try to get for the white Ford Bronco?
My guess was strategic, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, is that like $1?
Yes, go ahead.
But you guessed 9,000?
Hold on, why do you say Pat?
I don't know.
Because sometimes
I like to. Pat's my favorite, so I like to use it in all games.
Big Sajak fan?
Yeah.
I could be Louie if you want.
No, that's right.
Okay.
All right, Fester, how much?
I mean, 150,000.
Whoa! Are you nuts?
No.
That thing's still up there?
Roxanne.
He didn't.
What?
But pay attention. He didn't bust.
No, he didn't.
Or
Yeah.
did I?
No, he didn't. No.
So I 151.
You
Nice.
And
All
I
right,
won.
my
I
turn.
won.
My turn.
You keep guessing.
My turn.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, how much, Froggy?
$222,000.54, Bob.
Nope.
Pat.
Fester, back to you.
All right. $250,000. I don't know what. How much? $1 million.
Higher.
Oh, okay.
The owners.
Oh, that would have taken a while.
Yeah, okay. I really thought it was like worth like $200,000.
That's why I shut this thing down, because I was about to pull my hair out.
$2 million, $1.5 million.
Exactly. So the owners are hoping to get at least $1.5 million for the O.J. Simpson white Ford Bronco. June 17th, 1994, A.C. Cowlings driving. O.J. like crouched down in the back seat.
Yeah.
Before O.J. passed, we had always thought this was going to be the year we were going to sell because it's the 30th anniversary. Yeah, this is according to one of the owners, Michael Gilbert. Yeah, Simpson's former agent. And two friends, I guess, apparently own this thing. And this is the 30th anniversary. Hey, Michelle and I are going to be married for 30 years come June.
That's crazy. He died on the 30th anniversary.
Yeah, and then June 17th is going to be the 30th anniversary, and they're hoping to sell this thing. He said, hey, who knows if we're all going to be around for the 35th or 40th. The three owners say that I guess they last received an offer for the Bronco some time ago in 2016. So they were offered $750,000 for the Bronco back 2016. The Bronco has been on loan to the Alcatraz East Crime Museum in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Yeah. Now, we told you that's where it was. We told you when was it?
Yesterday.
Was it yesterday? Yeah. I thought we also mentioned it last week.
Maybe.
Anyway, so you could go see the White Ford Bronco in the Alcatraz East Crime. All right, let me get this straight. They're calling it Alcatraz East because they built a tourist attraction in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee that looks like they did a mock-up of the Alcatraz prison as a tourist trap. Is that what they did?
Dude,
nice.
I've never been to Pigeon Forge or Gatlinsville or Berg, whatever that's called, but I heard it is the biggest tourist trap.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
One thing after another.
Oh, I'm sure it is. And is that what Dollywood is, right?
Yeah, Pigeon Forge is Dollywood. But yeah, I think there's like a Titanic museum out there, and there's just a lot of tourist trap stuff.
Let's see. Alcatraz is in the middle of San Francisco Bay. We're going to build a replica of Alcatraz in Tennessee. Oh, we'll call it Alcatraz East.
Yeah.
Why don't you call it Alcatraz Redneck? All right.
I mean, honestly, I think it'd be a cool place if they have real crime artifacts. They have this Bronco, which I would love to see.
It's like a crime museum.
Oh,
it's cool.
Man. So OJ Bronco, they're hoping to get at least $1.5 million, and they think now is the time to sell. Oh, and one other thing. Remember, we also told you that the executor for the O.J. Simpson estate says that he's going to make sure that the Goldmans get nothing. Nothing.
How do you...
Charlie, you get nothing.
But Mr. Wonka...
You get nothing.
Yeah, they're not going to give him
You're a real
any.
prick, Wonka.
I'm sure his estate is all written out to not have any of the money leave the family.
Yeah, and he's had like a secretive web of companies and cash-only kind of policies to keep all the money away from the family.
All
He's
kinds of
life, yeah.
LLCs and So here's the deal, though. No, that looks like there's a reversal. So the executive...
Different kind of reversal, but thanks for thinking like that.
Who did that?
Adding the sound effects.
That's a Froggy move. You're making hurl noises?
I couldn't even think that fast.
You've devolved, Roxanne, you've devolved to hurling noise?
Just felt like
so Malcolm Laverne is the executor of the O.J. Simpson estate, and originally he was quoted as saying that he's going to make sure that the Goldmans get nothing. And, of course, Fred Goldman, the father of Ron Goldman, the unfortunate, mid-20s waiter that was just bringing eyeglasses back to Nicole's house like a mile away that she had left at the restaurant, and then shows up, and here's a crazed OJ with a freaking, a Rambo knife, and he's just wrong place, wrong time. And, of course, with the acquittal of O.J. Simpson in the murder trial, the Goldmans were able to get a civil judgment in the civil trial, and they were awarded $33.5 million for the death of their son. It has since ballooned to $100 million in interest owed as well. But the executor had originally said that he's going to make sure, following in O.J.'s footsteps in death, he's going to make sure the Goldmans get nothing from the estate. And now he's reversing this. He said he shouldn't have said that. Yeah.
He should have kept it quiet and still given him nothing.
Right. He said that he's abandoned the position that he'll fight to keep Ron Goldman's family from pursuing a massive civil verdict. So I can tell you in advance, Fred Goldman's claim will be accepted, Laverne told the Hollywood Reporter. So sort of a reversal on this. Yes, Rox?
Isn't it kind of crazy when you just think about, what is it? It's like the butterfly effect. Butterfly effect. When
you mean the butterfly effect?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
And when just a simple leave behind item like, oops, she forgot her glasses, and it resulted in his death.
Oh, yeah. And listen, and Nicole. So OJ was going over to take care of Nicole, and then Ron Goldman just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, one of the ultimate wrong place, wrong time stories, that you're just bringing her glasses back that she left at the restaurant, and here's a maniacal, crazed O.J. Simpson wanting to take out his ex-wife. And then we have an anti-Nepo story. I love this. And this is one of those, like a millennial Gen Z term, Nepo baby, that if you're a subject of nepotism, family favoritism, this is like a total anti-Nepo story. Now, I don't feel bad for this woman at all because she's now a billionaire, but she inherited it all. Her family, particularly her father, took the reins from her grandfather and built this amazing In-N-Out burger chain. So if you're a West Coaster, if you've traveled out west, listen, even if you live here in Florida, many of you know the storied history of In-N-Out Burger. Anyway, it was founded back in like the late 40s or the 50s. I think it was somewhere in the 40s.
1948.
Well, thank you. Look, Fester's already looking it up. And In-N-Out Burger is a fast food burger establishment. I think they're only as far west as, Texas. And
East.
What?
It's far east.
What did I say?
Far west?
Thank you.
They're as far west as the Pacific Ocean.
Yes, you are correct. I think they're only as far east as Texas, if I'm not mistaken. I doubt they'll ever get to Florida. But I thought this is a cool story that the heiress, Lindsay Snyder, that she recently told a story that she stood in line for 2 hours to get a job at an In-N-Out Burger, that she went as part of a hiring event to get a job at an In-N-Out Burger, and she, like everyone else trying to seek employment at an In-N-Out, waited in line for 2 hours to grab a job at the chain that her family owned. This was when she was a teenager because she wanted to break the obvious stigma of, oh, you're the owner's kid, and she wanted to earn respect and get some burger cred. So I thought it was a pretty cool story.
Hold on.
Probably
Even though she could have called her old man and said, hey, get me a job at one of the In-N-Out Burgers, that she just showed up as a teenager, stood in line during like a job fair or a hiring event for 2 hours to get her job.
Did she get the job?
She did.
I don't believe it.
Yep.
Yeah, MJ, are In-N-Out burgers that coveted that you'll wait 2.5 hours for an interview?
Yeah,
Dude,
sounds like she's doing some press for her company.
Let me tell you right now, when an In-N-Out Burger opens, there are people that line up and pitch tents like a week and a half ahead of time. And when an In-N-Out Burger opens, the line at the place is hours and hours long to grab an In-N-Out Burger.
Okay.
So listen, it's good. Is it the best burger on the planet? It's not, but I mean,
it's a pretty good fast food burger.
It is
Never had one.
I've had some dogs. I've had a couple of
They use dogs.
hey, no, Michelle and Julian, when they were on the college tour, when Julian was visiting all the film schools, obviously they went out west and they visited UCLA and USC and Chapman, and they had an In-N-Out at the In-N-Out right next to LAX. And I trust Michelle and Julian, and they said it was awful. It was terrible. Now, In-N-Out Burger is generally very good, but, like any place, you can have a bad experience, and they had a bad experience at In-N-Out. Anyway, I thought the story was good, that here, the family is worth a fortune, and she didn't say, hey, Dad, get me a job. She stood in line to get the job and earn it on her own. 7:15 at the MJ Morning Show. Guess what? We start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. Hey, I want to know. Here we go, 727 at the MJ Morning Show. MJ and part of the crew, Fester, only one in the studio. We are missing Froggy and Roxanne. Who the hell knows why they can't get back in time? But we are starting an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ right now. There was a Billy Joel controversy, which I just found out about yesterday. And, I had set my TiVo, my DVR, to record this, and for whatever reason, it only recorded like 2 minutes.
Okay, that's odd.
Yeah, very strange. So I had a little bit of a TiVo malfunction, which doesn't happen very often. But are you aware of Billy Joel fans being infuriated nationwide? I guess it was Eastern time zone, so affecting us.
Eastern and Central.
Central, and I think possibly Mountain as well. They corrected it for the West Coast feed because they're 3 hours back. But people livid because CBS has been promoting this Billy Joel 100th concert at Madison Square Garden event for like weeks and weeks. And then on Sunday night, they run the concert and then cut it off at the very end, right in the middle of the grand finale of The Piano Man. It just cuts off the network just cuts it off.
What the hell are you doing, CBS?
And then the local stations go to the late 11 o'clock news. Now, Sunday ran late because you had golf on. What is the green jacket thing? Is that the Masters?
Yeah.
So you had the whole green jacket, which looks like, 3-year-old like booger runnage out of their nose when they're sick. That jacket. Anyway, or
it's the color of grass.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
All right. So the Masters ran late. Then they had to run 60 minutes. Then they had some kind of, I guess, crime cop drama show.
Was it the one with Queen Latifah?
No.
I love that one.
It's some newer show, like Target or I don't know what it's. So that had to run, and then Billy Joel was supposed to start at 9 o'clock. And then it was like a 2-hour event. It was supposed to be 9 to 11, but it ran late. And I guess at 11:28 or so, right around 11:28, 11:30, CBS network just went black. It just cut it off. And then the local stations come on with their news. I think I've got a sample. I think I've got a little demonstration. Yeah, here's the Piano Man that's just cut off and just... local station goes right into news.
And the piano sounds like a bubble, and the microphone smells like a pig, and they sing it.
That's it.
Live from CBS 4, this is your news now.
That's awful. I saw the commercials for the concert, and seeing as how we saw Billy Joel a month ago, I'm like, you know what? I don't know of any. I've never enjoyed TV concerts.
A little more than a month ago. It was February 24th, was it? Or 26th?
A month and a half ago.
Whatever.
So, but still, I was like, I never really enjoyed TV concerts, so I didn't put it on my list. But that sucks.
I had set the DVR to record it just in case. I mean, one of his most famous songs of all time, the 100th concert. CBS promoting it for weeks. And it
live from CBS 4.
Was that like his final song?
No.
Yeah, it was the last song.
Yeah.
No.
And they just cut it off.
This isn't one of his most famous songs. Big Shot is one of his most famous songs.
All right.
This is the most famous song.
All right. So then you had so many livid fans. This is such a backfire on CBS that all these CBS stations around the country had to apologize. Now, I would have had what happened on Channel 10 CBS, Tampa Bay's 10. I would have had that on my DVR, and I could have played that audio, but my DVR malfunctioned and didn't record the concert for some reason. So I don't have local Channel 10 and what happened there. But, for instance, here are CBS stations around the country apologizing for cutting off Billy Joel in the middle of Piano Man. This is Channel 3 WTKR in Norfolk. my hometown.
Now to this. We want to follow up on an issue that upset many CBS viewers and Billy Joel fans last night. A timing error at the CBS network level beyond WTKR's control caused the Billy Joel concert special airing on our station to get cut off 2 minutes early, meaning viewers didn't get to see the end of The Piano Man. And this wasn't just an issue for our viewers, though. This impacted the CBS stations in the Eastern, Central, and Mountain time zones, too. The timing error was fixed for stations in the Pacific time zone. CBS affiliate relations tells us they will request a rebroadcast of Billy Joel's 100th concert at Madison Square Garden. And when we learn the details about when that special will be, we will be sure to update you here and on WTKR.com.
All right, so I think I heard that they're going to rerun the concert this Friday night. Can you double check on that?
I saw that as well.
Yeah,
Friday night, they're going to rerun it.
On CBS. But in the beginning, you see what the anchor was saying?
She distanced herself from that.
Yeah, she did.
It was beyond our control.
So it was network level. It wasn't us here locally at this CBS station. And you know what this really reeks of? Stop calling in death threats to the local CBS station. If you're a crazed, maniacal Billy Joel fan, don't threaten to murder our dogs and set our houses on fire. Or don't threaten, or actually possibly do, ram your vehicle into the lobby of the TV station.
Don't do that. No.
Don't do it.
Dude, are there that many big Billy Joel fans that they're that mad? I mean, it's not
You
like
only
Taylor
need one
Swift.
wacko.
Yeah, and people love to complain.
Andrew found Channel 10 locally. I'll get to that in a second. Here's CBS New York, Channel 2.
This statement today from CBS after a network programming timing error ended last night's Billy Joel special approximately 2 minutes early in the Eastern and Central time zone. CBS
and Mountain.
says, quote here, "We apologize to Mr. Joel, his fans, our affiliated stations, and our audience whose viewing experience was interrupted during the last song due to the overwhelming demand from his legions of fans." The statement goes on to say, Billy Joel, the 100th, live at Madison Square Garden, will be rebroadcast in its entirety on CBS on April 19th at 9 p.m.
So
Please.
that's
You know how
Friday
it
night, right?
ends. You know how the song ends.
So this actually gives CBS 2 more hours of programming, right? They get to rerun something again.
What is getting booted on Friday night? What was CBS going to run? All right, here's the local. Andrew, thanks for finding this. This is Channel 10 locally.
As many of you reached out to us about last night's Billy Joel concert. Tonight, CBS says a network programming timing error.
Yeah, they're all saying the
ended
same thing.
Last night's special about 2 minutes early in the Eastern and Central time zones. Now, in a statement, network executives say, we apologize to Mr. Joel, his fans, our affiliated stations, and our audience whose viewing experience.
Anyway, so they're all reading basically the same statement. I guess Andrew says that CBS is going to preempt Fire Country on CBS.
Well, I've never heard of that.
Dude, you want to talk about a good show? Fire
God,
Country.
you watch anything?
It's about like California convicts.
I've never heard of it.
Did you used to watch
It's about-
Walker, Texas Ranger?
I've never heard of the damn thing.
I've watched everything Chuck Norris has been in, but Fire
Hold on,
Country.
Chuck Norris is still on TV. He's like 95 years old.
Not anymore, but back in the listen, Fire Country is about like these California convicts who like gain freedom by fighting fires.
So they're
that's great.
firefighters?
So you got a rapist and a murderer out, working for Cal Fire? Is
But
that
he
it?
saved my house, so set him free.
Who's this guy from Channel 10?
As many of you reached out to us about last night's Billy
You
Joel.
know, I can't name anybody on Channel 10 anymore. I have no idea who the... If I got a phone call, hey, for $10 million, name one anchor or reporter on Channel 10.
I know who you're going to name.
I couldn't do it.
Reggie Roundtree.
He's not on
I know,
Channel 10.
I know, but that's who you're thinking of.
Yeah, but Channel 10, it's like all like nobody has a name there anymore. It's like
How about Jerry Squarebush?
I can't name it.
Roundtree was replaced by Squarebush.
Is she related to Laura Landing Strip?
Oh, I love her. She's good.
The joke was his shape.
The joke was
Yeah. How about Susie Triangle?
Isn't that Bobby Deskin's station?
Oh, one of the victims of Hal Herman's
Oh, that's
Bobby Deskin's the I think
Oh,
he's
yeah,
the
Bobby
chief
is there. Yeah, he is.
Weather-wise.
He is,
Yeah,
that's right.
meteorologist.
That might be the only name I recognize at Channel 10 is Bobby Deskins.
And last week when Hal Herman did his slam against local and national news personalities, Bobby Deskins was in the crosshairs.
And keep in mind that Hal Herman is just jealous because Hal Herman was essentially booted from even the smallest market television because of his drinking and drug problem.
I mean, he was at Wavy TV 10.
Yeah,
Hey.
that's not that small.
Yeah. Did you say Wavy TV 10?
I did.
That's right. He did do some time at Wavy TV 10 in Norfolk, Virginia Beach. That's right. You know what? We need Hal Herman headlines this week. Froggy, tell Hal Herman we need headlines for Thursday at 8 a.m., okay? Froggy?
I think he just fell asleep. Hey.
Whenever you talk about Hal, I zone out now.
All right, can we book Hal
We'll
Herman?
see. Yeah, I'll talk to him today. We'll see. He's very amped up with Hal Herman. He's getting a lot of calls from agencies wanting to sign the band.
So and over the weekend, I got a call from a guy who has a legitimate rock band, and they're having a performance at Skipper's. And he wanted to invite
Skippers.
Hal to come out.
Hang on. We're going to get into...
Skippers.
We're going to get into the little riff that Froggy and I had. Froggy berated me on text over the weekend because Froggy wants to do a live event with Hal Herman and the band, and Froggy doesn't think that I'll do it, that I'm a wuss. I want to open this up to discussion in a matter of minutes. First, though, would somebody please tell me, what is the racket here? Attention, MJ Morning Show listeners. Have you been in your home and the doorbell rings and two guys walk up and they're selling pest control, or what are they doing? These guys, different pairs. Like last night, this happened last night at about 7 o'clock. And last night it was two black dudes. Previously, I've seen two white dudes. In my neighborhood, they're on foot. There's like no indication that they have any type of motor vehicle transportation.
They're on foot.
Seriously. And they're just ringing people's doorbells, and apparently they're pitching some pest control deal. Can someone tell me, what is the racket here? What are they doing? Who are they? They don't appear to work for any like major pest control company.
So what do they say they're from?
I don't know. So I was at Publix last night because, Chloe's still recovering from her ER visit. And, she wanted the Bob Evans mac and cheese. So I had to run up to Publix to get it. And, I've got a little call box, a little gate at my house. And the gate rings my phone. And listen to this little come on. And if anyone knows what I'm talking about, if you've had or seen or know about these guys that are cruising neighborhoods promoting or pushing some pest control deal, call us up. Let me know what's going on here. I want to know what the racket is. 800-990-1047. Are they representing a legitimate company? I mean, I've seen guys, I'm on my walk in the neighborhood, and I've seen other neighbors like walking, and I've seen these guys like stop and try to talk to people that are like walking their dog. Hey, let me tell you about the pest control. So I'm at Publix picking up the Bob Evans macaroni and cheese for Chloe because she was craving that. And my phone rings, and I can see it's my front gate calling. And, they're on my call box. And I said, hello. And the guy says, hey, did they tell you that we were stopping by?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Yeah, hey, yeah, this is John. I'm with the pest control. Did they tell you we were stopping by tonight? I'm like, no, what are you talking about? And I said, I don't know what I said, and then I just hung up. And then I left Publix, and I'm driving home, and I was looking for them because I knew they were canvassing the neighborhood. And I saw them walking, and they were just knocking on, like, other neighbors' doors, up on their porches, knocking. What is their deal? And I've seen them, I think, like 3 times in my neighborhood. I don't know. Remember the kids that were dropped off selling magazines and candy? Remember those deals?
I used to buy that candy.
Remember the little kids, like 8, 9, 10-year-old kids were dropped off like in vans to canvass neighborhoods and sell crap.
Yeah, we used to do that for Little League, the famous chocolate bars.
Yeah, the big ones.
No, not
Those are fundraisers.
No. That's a fundraiser. These kids, I remember that hasn't happened for a while. But, look at the phones. The phones are ringing here. So what is the racket? And what, you're really going to fool me? Oh, hey, did they tell you we were stopping by? Who's going to tell me? It's my freaking house.
Are they looking for like a renter
You know-
who doesn't know that the landlord has sent over the pest control because that's usually out of their hands?
Yeah, there are a lot of renters and landlords in my neighborhood.
I don't know this. I mean, they don't know this.
All right. So, what is the racket? What are they doing? What is the deal here? All right, look at the phones. Every line is ringing here. Bring up the screener, would you please, Fester?
Sure.
Thank you so much. All right. Let me grab line 4 first. Steve in Tampa up first on this. Steve, what are these guys doing running through the neighborhood? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, one of them came with like a baggy pants and no idea at all and shaggy hair. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And,
All right, so hold on. They came to your house in baggy pants and shaggy hair?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm like,
And no ID, right?
no ID, no nothing, no ID or anything.
All right, what part of town, Steve, where do you live in Tampa?
USF by in Bruce B. Downs.
Okay, what was the pitch? What were they trying to hit you up with?
A package deal for 6 months of pest control service. I'm like, well, we already have that with the apartment.
Oh, they're trying to hit up your apartment complex?
Yes.
Oh, my God. And then what company were they representing? Did they ever say who it was?
I asked him, I was like, well, what's the name of the company? He's like, well, it's Pest Control, Inc. I'm like, Pest Control, Inc. And I looked at the guys like, are you serious, man? Do you know I do security? And you're really not supposed to be soliciting around here.
Yeah, I mean, again, you're a little bit adding to the mystery here, Steve. And I know that it's happened to tons of... Every line is jammed, folks. Every single phone line is jammed. I know that whatever the gig is, whatever the game is, they're like all over town with their pest control deal. All right, Steve, thanks for the call.
Okay.
All right, Alex is in Tampa. Alex, you're on the MJ Morning Show. What's going on?
Well, I used to work for Terminex, and Terminex used to have a summer program where they would send like interns out into the field and do a blitz in neighborhoods where they would go and legitimately knock on doors and try to solicit the pest control business from them.
All right, but these guys apparently are not mentioning any company.
Yeah, wouldn't they be in like a Terminex shirt and say, "Hi, I'm Bill from Terminex"?
But they're not carrying paperwork. They're not carrying a clipboard. It's like they're just walking with nothing. They've got their shoes and shirt.
I don't know what your guys were doing, but like I said, pest control companies do that occasionally. They'll send out blitz teams like that, usually around the summertime, where pests start getting a lot of activity, and then they'll go out and, like I said, blitz the neighborhood.
Gotcha. But they identify as Terminex. They probably even have Terminex shirts on, right?
I don't know, because it was a summer intern
Gotcha.
program, so I don't know exactly what they were doing. Now, our salespeople used to have, proper uniforms and stuff like that.
No, I get it. Alex, thanks for the call. Oh, this is my neck of the woods. Amy is in Beach Park in South Tampa. Amy, hi. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm calling. It happened yesterday to me.
Yeah, so again, I saw these guys, and I don't know where you live in Beach Park, but I saw these two guys. They rang my buzzer, and they're like trying to talk to me. Hey, I think you're expecting us, or hey, did they tell you we were coming? I'm like, what? No one told me. All right, so what happened, Amy?
So he knew all the names of my neighbors. He's like, oh, your neighbor next door, Carrie, told me I should come over here. They're going to use me. And I said, well, I already have service. And I didn't answer the door at first, and my dogs were going crazy. Then he came to my back door. And I'm like, well, I better get this guy away because my dogs won't stop barking. He had no identification. He was, I would say, a college-age kid. He was nice. He was nicely dressed. And, I didn't feel threatened. So I opened the door, and I said, what can I help you with? And he tried selling me this program, and I said, well, can I have a card? I'll give it to my husband. And he's like, oh, you let your husband make all the decisions?
Oh
my gosh. And actually, I don't, but I just wanted him to think that.
Oh, man, you're trying to blow him off. Now, was this guy white guy, black guy? Describe this one.
He was a white guy, athletic looking. Looked nice.
Yeah, they must have been hitting Beach Park last night because, again, I saw two black guys. I've previously seen two white guys working together. So I don't know how many did they drop off or how many were working it, but did they ever say the name of the company?
Okay, so listen, this is funny. I said, well, I need a card. He's like, and I'm thinking to myself, he's casing my house. I want a card.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't have a card. And he pulled up his little iPad, and I said, let me see that. And I took a screenshot and I saved it. And it was called Hawks, Haux.
Hawks.
Hawks.
Yeah.
And I said, I've never heard of this. Well, he's like, oh, just, I'll give you a deal. Give me your credit card information. I said, I'm not going to do that. He said, well, I'm only in the neighborhood until about 5. So do you want me to come back after you talk to your husband? And I was like, no, I think we're good.
Right.
All right.
And then I didn't see a car, saw nothing. So I'm like, how did he get here? Because our neighborhood, you can see up and down the street pretty well. He was on foot.
Yeah.
So did you say Hawks Pest Control?
Yes, HAWX.
So I just typed it into the Google, and there's a Breckenridge Parkway, Suite A in Tampa. A Hawks Pest Control.
All right. So again, just odd that you're having that kind of an encounter. At least we have a name. Amy, thanks for the call.
I tell you, somebody comes
You're
to my
welcome.
back door.
Yeah.
They're leaving like Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
They're not leaving.
Amy, thanks. All right. Every line has lit up here. Grab Andrew, just a couple more, and then we've got to move on. Let me grab, can you bring the screener back up, please?
Sure.
Fester? Thank you. Hurry
There
up.
we go.
Come on.
Well, we're getting there.
We're taking, Tim in Winter Haven. Tim, MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Hi.
Yes, my experience was almost to the letter what Amy had, though they didn't identify themselves as being from Hawks. As a matter of fact, we asked them several times exactly who he was representing, and he had a clipboard with him, several papers, pen, that sort of thing, and he kind of flashed it at us real quick, and we were trying to get a beat on what was going on. The gentleman was, he looked like he was maybe black Hispanic, if you will,
right.
But very respectful, very courteous, very well dressed. And again, no sign whatsoever of any kind of indicia of who he belonged to. I did not see any car that he was driving in, so apparently he was on foot. But my girlfriend and I, whom I was staying with at the time, this happened about 2-3 weeks ago, we were pulling out to go do something. And turns out he was hitting every house in her little neighborhood of about like 40 houses.
Yeah. But it's widespread. So it happened to me in South Tampa in Beach Park last night. Amy just called in from, I guess, nearby where I am in South Tampa. You're in Winter Haven. Tim, thanks for the call. Jay in Newport Richie. All right, just a few more here, then we got to move on. Hi, Jay. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning. Yeah, I'm calling. I'm actually work for Massey Services.
Yep.
Which does pest and landscape and all
Yeah,
that.
oh, we've heard of the big company locally, sure.
Basically, what is going on is these smaller companies like Hawkins, so on and so forth, what they do is they get these young kids that are very aggressive, and they just let them loose in neighborhoods. So they might go out with a pest tech.
What do they just push them out of the van? Go!
What happens is, MJ, they probably pay them a lot of money for everybody they sign up.
They probably get a finder's fee, or they get a commission. But I mean, to tell Amy, are you not allowed to make decisions? Do you let your husband make all the decisions? That's, what is this, 1950? I mean, where's your apron? You baking a cake in the kitchen right now?
You better put that dame to work.
And I hear people actually, the kids walk up when another company's there, and they say, "Oh, they're no good. You got to go with us, and we'll be better than them."
Oh,
I mean, that's how aggressive they get.
Yeah, you just heard Amy. I mean, that was going to the back door. I mean, I don't think that's a good idea.
No.
Thanks, Jay. And then one last call here. Courtney is up next. Courtney, hi. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hey, MJ. This actually happens in Zephyr Hills a lot, and it ends up in pairs. It's not just pest control. It'll be for solar panels. It'll actually be for those scams where they're like the cracked windshield scam. The recent one that I had, it was like two, I'd say teenagers. It was the dusk error like air of nighttime, so like you could barely see outside. They were wearing like those Christmas necklaces that are like really, really bright. They were telling me that they were from John's Pest Control, and they knew all the neighbors around my area, and they were just like, "Hey, you should come with us. We know you already have somebody, but we'll give you a better deal." And like they had no clipboards, no business cards, no nothing. So this does happen a lot.
Seems like it's all over the place. Thanks for the call. No shortage of calls on this. Andrew had to turn a bunch away. But that's, I guess, the solicitation racket. But, you know, some of them are just mysterious with, like, out identification. And it's just like, you know, generic pest control. Man. But, you know, obviously it happens with other services as well. Yeah. Caitlyn Clark, you saw she went number one. That was fully expected. Andrew, did you pull the Caitlyn Clark audio? Do you have that, Andrew?
If not, I can reenact it.
Yeah, here it is. Listen to this. Caitlyn Clark, pick number one.
With the first pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Caitlyn Clark, University of Iowa.
I was like, oh, no, she's going to Indiana? I mean, come on. But then I said, all right, she's coming from Iowa. So it's probably a little bit of an upgrade.
So her,
you know,
Indianapolis is nice.
Her boyfriend is an assistant coach or an intern coach with the Indiana Pacers.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's going to work out perfectly.
Yeah. So,
all right.
So she's going there. Did you see what she's getting paid?
Well,
the WNBA.
That was one of my questions. I was going to ask I meant to look it up and I didn't get a chance. How much will Caitlyn Clark be paid as a first pick for the WNBA?
I saw it last night, and it's about over the course of the first 4 years, the 4-year rookie contract.
Yep.
It's about $360,000
over 4 years.
Yeah, so it's like
it's not even $100,000.
It's about like that 75, and then it escalates to like $90,000 a year over a couple of years.
Screw that.
It's not the exact numbers, but
meanwhile, you get these deals with the men, and they're signing $28, $35, $50 million deals. Yeah,
for sure. Maybe she can get some good endorsements.
Yeah, she'll get endorsements.
Oh, she'll have endorsements out the wazoo.
I can tell you right now, I bet you State Farm is already paying her more than her entire contract for these commercials that she's in.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, she's likable. I wish her the best of luck.
She's hot.
And the bottom line here is that
why did that stuff everybody?
But what?
I think she is attractive. I don't know. There's something about her.
I don't want to objectify her in that way.
Yeah,
Froggy.
come on, Froggy.
I just think she's pretty.
Don't be sexist. But with, for instance, the college finals, the women college finals, I mean, it had more viewers for the Sunday game than the UConn Purdue game.
I forgot who they were playing. UConn and somebody else.
Purdue.
Yeah.
More viewers watch the women's game on Sunday than watch the men's game. I mean, that's what Caitlin Collins has done here.
Give me a break. She'll make more money managing a Publix.
She will.
That's outrageous. I can't
She'll
believe
get
that.
more money managing a Publix deli.
Hey, don't laugh. Publix general managers typically retire millionaires. Did you know that?
That's why I said that.
Yeah, it's a great company to work for.
If you're a Publix general manager, if you've got a store, most of those managers retire millionaires.
Most of the truck drivers do.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Indiana. Their first year is the hold on here. Where's this?
And they only play with the Fever. Did you guys know that?
Please stop it.
They always got the cold sweats.
But also, the Indiana team is the worst in the league. You know, just like typically the worst record in the NFL. They get the first pick in the draft. Exactly.
So first year she makes $76,535.
Oh my God, that's outrageous.
If they opt for the fourth year option, it's $97,582.
So
she turned down $3 million or something from that other one.
I'm sorry, $97,582.
If that's for year 4, that's an option year. Moving along, I love this. A security camera for your house that fires paintballs.
That's awesome. But there's one little catch to it.
Go ahead.
You can set it up as automated. So I'm just imagining, like, what if you're getting Amazon deliveries?
No.
Paintball.
No. What if guys are knocking on your door to sell you pest control? There's a startup company. So this is like a startup, and it's a security camera. Imagine it's a Ring doorbell that fires paintballs.
Oh, the videos.
Would you have to have a sign up that says "Do not walk any closer to my house"?
It would have to be somebody that you would talk to, right? And then there's probably a button.
Well, hang on. You've seen, right? You've seen those cameras, or you've heard those cameras.
Yeah.
If like I'm in the neighborhood and let's say I walk too close to somebody's driveway, I'm on the sidewalk, you are being recorded. You've heard those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There are the security cameras that will talk to you when they sense motion. And they'll say, you are being recorded.
Those are pretty obnoxious.
Man, I love this. Paint cam. That's what it's called. Paint cam Eve. It's an armed home security camera that will fire paintballs at people.
What's amazing, picture this. Someone's trying to break into your house. It's brilliant. Someone's trying to break in and you're watching from your app, or maybe it just automatically, you've got it set to automated, just starts firing. And then this crook who's been trying to break in starts running away. Well, guess what? It's you, buddy. It's you. You're guilty because you're covered in red, blue, green.
So
I'd rather have pepper spray.
This company, listen to this. Well, hey, dude.
What?
Guess what?
They have that too?
Yes.
Oh,
so
that's better.
They have one model that will shoot paintballs, and then they have another model which it'll spray tear gas projectiles.
Oh my God, that thing rules.
Mm-hmm.
I want that.
Oh man.
Let's just spray Big Lou in the face when he's coming over.
It's a startup company. Oh man.
I don't know if that's going to take off.
You wouldn't buy it.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, 7:58 at the MJ Morning Show. Running a few minutes late on this. My question to you, the MJ listening audience, would you attend an MJ Morning Show live event with Hal Herman's band, Hal Herman, playing? And if we did like a little...
No, we would do more than that.
Well,
right?
Well, we'd probably do some, a stage show or something.
Yeah.
We'd probably have, some games we'd play or some listener interaction.
It would be fun night.
Lester, you could do stand-up.
Oh, God.
I will be sitting down. I'm against this idea.
All right, here's the deal.
What's new?
Here's the deal.
Professor the dunk tank.
We have done plenty of live events over the years.
It's just been a while.
It's been a while. From the MJ and BJ Morning Show to the MJ Morning Show back through the 2000s. We have done numerous live events over the years.
All the Froggy Fall concert series were live events.
But nothing like what Froggy's talking about. We're talking. Are you talking like something that's a stage show?
Well, here's what happened. Over the weekend, Froggy is pitching me via text, just texts out of nowhere. Froggy is pitching me, hey, MJ, let's do a live appearance with Hal Herman and the whole 5-piece band, and we'll do a whole MJ Morning Show event. We'll get a great venue, food and drink, and we'll have listeners, show up.
Pretty good idea, huh?
Big event.
Yeah.
We'll have hundreds of listeners show up. And then Froggy is so impatient, right? Froggy is so impatient. I didn't answer him back within, I guess, the 2 minutes that he wanted a response. And then he starts insulting me.
It's just, you need to get back to me. I knew what you were doing. You were dodging me.
I wasn't dodging you. I'm sorry. I'm not glued to my phone.
It was the next day you texted me.
Whatever. So Froggy starts hitting me with a barrage of insults. Calls me, a wuss. Calls me a puss. I mean,
he called you a bunch of names.
He says, you're afraid. You can't handle. I'm like, what are you doing? Is it... What are you doing? 3-year-old reverse psychology on me?
You're a doo-doo head.
All right. Here's the question.
I mean, if people don't want to go, we don't have to do it.
Let's ask you, the MJ Morning Show audience. If we did an MJ Morning Show live event at some venue, with a bar and drinks and Froggy's Hal Herman,
we could have a cover band play too and play some live music.
The question is, would you? Would you go to the event?
You could put Fester in a brawl.
This
and put him
sounds
on
like
stage.
this sounds like the worst idea ever, dickhead. I mean, this is really a terrible idea.
I just dumped that.
Yeah,
Why? Don't
see what I said? The brawl thing.
Don't curse.
This is a terrible idea.
Don't curse like that.
It's not a curse.
I said the brawl thing.
You cursed.
His name is.
I don't need that at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Listen, I am not a part of this at all.
All right,
So
first
screw
of all,
you guys.
here's the question.
What do you call me that?
Can I please get some opinions? Can I get you, the MJ Morning Show audience? Can I get you, the listener, to weigh in, please? 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Would you be interested in attending an MJ Morning Show live event with featured band Hal Herman, starring Hal Herman?
Hey, you're the one who invites listeners to lunch, for God's sakes.
Right.
You need something
And
like
then
this.
would it be a free event? With
Absolutely, it has to be.
a cash bar, and then you pay for food. I mean, how would we do this?
What's the matter, Fester?
All right, let's go to phones on this. Would you attend an MJ Morning Show event with Hal Herman's band? 800-990-1047.
You're making it sound like it's just a Hal Herman thing.
No,
MJ, the whole idea of this is completely ass backwards.
All right, hold on to that thought. 800-990-1047. Would you be remotely interested in attending this type of event? Let me just take the temperature of the audience.
I mean, Hal Herman doesn't even have to play.
In the meantime, let me give you the Cash Kitty word. It is a little past 8 o'clock. Of course, you have until 8:15. You have until quarter past whenever we do the contest of that particular hour. This hour's word is save, S-A-V-E. This hour's word is save, S-A-V-E. Text SAVE right now nationwide to 45911 before 8:15 for a shot at $1,000 cash, or you can enter it on the Q105 app, which I recommend you download, or at myQ105.com. Good luck from the MJ Morning Show and, of course, the Cash Kitty. And then it'll happen again at 10, noon, 3, and 5 p.m. $1,000 each time. First time is at 8 o'clock right now, every morning here on Q105. All right, let's go to phones on this. And every line has ignited here. I'm just going to grab like one round of calls. I just want to take the initial temperature here.
And I want to hear what Fester's not backwards idea is.
So you want to hear what Fester's aversion is?
Yeah.
All right, let me grab a couple of calls, and then Fester will let you speak your mind. Christy in Spring Hill. Hi, Christy. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Hello.
Yeah, I would love to go to a function like that and meet everybody because you see you guys. I met you once with BJ years ago.
Oh, wow.
But I'd like to meet the rest of the people that work for you, Fester and Froggy and Roxanne. And I would go, but I was hoping that maybe you could make it something like a fundraiser for an animal shelter because, something that could work out for a good cause as well.
Hey, the Cash Kitty was a rescue from the shelter.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yes, the kitty. Yeah, the Cash Kitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Tell
Cash Kitty.
Roxanne tell her to clean out that kitty litter box because the DJ that comes on after her is always saying Roxanne forgot to clean the kitty box.
Oh,
that's
come
Gino.
on. That's
Gino.
silly.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Things just turning everywhere.
Thank you, Christy. All right, so there's one that would say yes. RJ in West Palm. RJ, you're in West Palm Beach?
Yes, sir. Listen to you all the time.
Would you drive from Palm Beach County for an event?
Yes, I'm in Tampa part of the time to see my family, so I would definitely make an effort to be there 100%.
What would be the draw for you? Would it be Hal Herman and the Hal Herman Band, or would it be meeting the crew, or whatever other antics and entertainment we'd come up with?
Oh, it would be the whole ball of wax for me. I want to see Hal Herman. I want to see all of you guys 100%.
Now, would you only come if it were a free event, or would you pay a modest, cover charge or ticket price?
Oh, I would pay anything.
What? Don't say that.
I'm there.
$1 million, sir.
All right, thank you. Thank you, RJ. Keep tuned, and we'll let you know if this is going to happen.
Kidney, RJ, anything?
Debbie's in Brandon. Hi, Debbie. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning. How are you?
We're well, Debbie. Would you go to an MJ Morning Show live event featuring Hal Herman's Hal Herman Band?
Absolutely. I can't wait to see it because I laughed hysterically when I listened to the music.
So last Friday?
Just to see the whole thing.
Yeah. So you guys are putting a lot of pressure on Hal Herman.
All right, Debbie, thanks. Hey, so far there are no negatives here. Everyone's in. Brian's in Tampa. Brian, would you come to a special event?
Oh, of course.
What's
It'd be amazing.
So, what'd you say?
Sit in the crowd. I said it would be amazing. I would sit in the crowd and yell, "What you think about this?"
There you go.
So, yeah, it would be amazing. I think so. And it'd be nice to meet all you guys in person for sure.
Awesome. All right, Brian. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Listen, pretty good indication so far. Eddie's in Waimama. Eddie, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Andrew, no more calls on this. I got to move on. This is just an initial temperature take, okay? Eddie, what do you think?
Oh, yes, definitely, MJ. I would love to go, especially if I can meet Dementia Don and Milton Flipcow.
I'll be there.
Oh, thank God you showed up. All right, Eddie, thank you. All right, and Andrew's turning calls away because I got to move on here. But the initial round, and I got negative Nelly Fester over here.
This is MJ. What has to be done?
It looks like you've just been force-fed like a half-gallon of syrup of Ipecac.
So far, the idea is marginally interesting at best. But it's not it can't be a Hal Herman-centric event. It's a morning show stage show with vignettes. It's a big production.
You just said you didn't want to be a part of it.
But no, this is what it should be, which I'm still not a part of. But it's a morning show event where there would be the four of us on some kind of stage with a crowd at a venue. It can't be held like at, Carrabba's in Citrus Park.
I have some ideas. We could do it at Rick's on the River. That guy Kenny, who we talked to, he probably want us there. Remember when we talked
weren't
to
they?
Kenny?
Rick's on the River was identified as like one of the best. They were recognized in some kind of national publication. Rick's on the River, right here.
Yes. And then another one I was looking at yesterday was the Floridian Social Club in St. Petersburg. I went to see a live band perform there, and it was really good. So I have two venues that are options.
You know what?
Continue with your naysaying.
I'll tell you what we ought to do.
It's a morning show meet and greet.
No, I'll tell you what we do. We just do it at the private club, the Stovall, right off of Bayshore.
Perfect.
That's where we do it, at the Stovall.
I'll tell you right now, I'm going to need a $12,000 talent fee
to show up.
I love the listeners. I have very little desire to meet them all for free.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
What a diva.
Really?
Dude,
how rude could you be?
Listen, first of all, we're all public people. We're all out there in socials. Listen,
Fester's joking around.
This show, but the problem is, this show as a group, we have no real leadership. So I think it's just a big mess.
What are you saying? What?
There's no leadership on this show.
I don't corral the whole gang?
Oh, just corralling isn't leadership. There's no leadership among
You don't think I lead the show?
No. Leadership. There's a difference. Not the guy who talks the most. The leadership. I don't think we can.
I'm the captain of the ship, keeping this thing from hitting a bridge in Baltimore every day.
Yet there's no leadership.
You mean like you don't think our promotion team can handle it?
No. I don't know.
Interesting.
A lot of discussions need to be had on it.
I think you're making it too big a deal. I think it's just to get together.
I think it only has to be a big deal.
You're a big deal.
You're
a big dildo.
A dildo?
That doesn't get dumped?
Next.
Well, it's a deal.
Yeah, it's a deal.
It's a deal.
Yeah. It's a deal.
No!
Exactly. All right. Anti-aging straws. I mean, the gimmicks that people think of. We've talked about this, that some people are dissuaded from using a straw because, and it's primarily women, think that putting a straw in your mouth and making that kind of puckered straw mouth face.
It mimics smoking cigarettes, basically.
Well, it's sort of the same deal.
Right.
So that's the belief, is that it induces and brings on premature wrinkling. So there are a lot of women that don't want to use a straw. However, then there are other advocates that say that if you drink like Coke, if you drink coffee, that you ought to use a straw because it prevents your teeth from staining by having the drink hit your teeth on the way in. So listen, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So for those that believe that a straw will induce early wrinkles around your mouth, and Roxanne, that was one of the notes that I had made. It's kind of like the lifelong 3-4 decade old cigarette smokers. You get a woman in their 60s, 70s, and it seems to be more prevalent on women than men. But
well, because men have facial hair.
But
and
you
guys,
you get that pucker, you get those wrinkles all around the mouth, and you can. I've been able to tell for a while, lifelong smoker, been smoking forever because of the cigarette in the mouth and the pucker, and it's kind of like butt pucker mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. It is. It could be another you know what?
It looks like a balloon.
No, but seriously, you get or a balloon when you tie. You look at the stem and you get those wrinkles.
Yeah.
But listen to this. One of the remedies is the invention of the side sucker straw.
Well, that's how if I am going to drink out of a straw, I do the side sucker move. My cousin one time was like,
"No, but
this is an actual invention, is what you're talking about."
Yes, you're doing it with a conventional straw. So you're trying to jam your straw in
like
sideways.
Look, I just go like this.
But
that's the Mississippi side sip.
Yeah,
the Mississippi side sip.
Yeah, one time my cousin was like, "Oh my gosh, you drink out of straws? You know you're going to get wrinkles that way."
There apparently is a new invention. It's the side sucker straw, and it doesn't go in your mouth like a standard straw that you then purse your lips around. Instead of sipping through a straw vertically, this is like a hook-like apparatus that is kept in a different pattern so you don't purse your lips as much, thereby inducing the belief that you get more wrinkles.
Trying to think of any other activities where you might purse your lips. Well, smoking, drinking out of straws. That's it, right?
Yeah. There is no scientific evidence as to whether the anti-wrinkle straws have any effect whatsoever. But I'm looking at the picture of this thing, and it's, I'm going to hold this up to MJ TV and see if you can see this. But you see that? You see the straw right here? It's like a hook shape, and it's going horizontally from one side of the mouth, like from the left side of the mouth to the right.
That looks so ridiculous.
It looks ridiculous.
It looks insane.
And people are trying to sell this as if you like using a straw, regular straws are going to give you butt pucker mouth wrinkles, but this straw will not.
Is that a joke? I mean, seriously, who would do that in public?
I would.
Is this the shape of the straw?
No, that's... Oh, it is.
Yeah,
So,
it.
it's the hook-like straw. So, Fester just found them on Walmart.com.
That's ridiculous.
Anti-wrinkle straws, 2-pack plastic anti-wrinkle straws, travel mug compatible, and it comes straight up and then takes like a hook and then loops around and then goes vertical. So the straw goes sideways from the left side of your mouth to the right, and you suck vertically. I'm sorry, you suck horizontally instead of sucking vertically.
I love a vertical suck.
By the way, this show sucks both.
Yeah.
We suck vertically and we suck horizontally, all right?
If we're lucky.
We're
Listen,
an obtuse angle of suckage.
MJ, it looks like you have a broken hanger coming out of your glass.
Yeah.
That's what it does look like. But,
It looks like a cane.
But the crap that people buy into, and then you've got like, plastic surgeons, cosmetic surgeons, dermatologists that are saying there is no science whatsoever that a side sucker straw is going to do anything to prevent wrinkles that might be induced.
They're going to induce a different kind of wrinkle.
Right. But also keep in mind that if you're a heavy smoker and you got your lips pursed on a cigarette for 20, 30, 40 years, if you make it that far without lung cancer, that is much more prolonged activity to induce the mouth wrinkles, which absolutely occur, than you sucking on a straw.
A couple of sips from a straw over the course of a couple of weeks, but yeah.
And if you just want to go strawless, I mean, I actually don't use straws that often. I'll just take a cup of coffee and you just got to guzzle it. Watch, MJ. You just got to take it and like throw it back into the back of your throat so you don't stain your teeth, and you don't need a straw.
It's 8:15 at the MJ Morning Show. Everybody that does prep on this show, except for Froggy, because he doesn't do any prep. But Fester sent this to me. I saw this. Roxanne saw this.
I sent it to you too, dude.
No,
Don't
you
act
didn't.
like I don't
You
do
didn't.
nothing.
Andrew sent it. Everybody honed in on this story.
You're such a bitch.
The 8:15 story.
Selling me out.
All right, it's 8:16 now. But did you see Froggy? Of course you didn't, because you didn't.
All right, I get it. I don't send you stories. I do other stuff.
According to research, the most stressful time of the day is right now, 8:15.
stressed.
I am not. I'm not stressed.
I'm not stressed. It's not really. If you read into the whys of why 8:15 is stressful, we don't have to deal with this stuff. Our spouses do.
Yeah, like overwhelmed after getting out of bed, the prospect of working. But let's say like 5:15 for me or whatever. I'm not stressed. But according to researchers, 8:15 right now is the most stressful time of the day.
Why?
Should we?
Because
should we go to the phones? Should we ask our listeners? It's now 8:17, but are you stressed? Or 2 minutes ago, were you at maximum stress? The morning rush, what's going on in the house, getting the kids ready for school, or you getting ready for work. A new survey says that 8:15 is the most stressful time of the day.
It could be because of commuting. It could be because, things that are out of your control. The kids acting like maniacs, traffic, or, oh my gosh, you wake up to these emails, an emergency at work. So it's like out of your control things that happen at this time.
Let's go to phones here. Just a couple of calls, Andrew. So it just being 8:15 a few minutes ago, did you hit maximum stress level for the day at 8:15? Just minutes ago. Yes or no? Do you? Are we going to have people screaming and pulling their hair out?
You break. What was it?
All right. 800-990-1047. A couple of calls. 800-990-1047. Were you just maximum stressed minutes ago at 8:15? And now it's 8:18. Did it all subside? Did it all just evaporate? Look at the stress lines are picking up over here. 800-990-1047. You think this is reality, or is this like a total crock of crap? 800-990-1047. Let's grab Matthew up first in Pasco. Matthew, MJ Morning Show, 8:15 minutes ago. Were you stressed? Matthew? Oh, hang on a second. I thought I picked him
So stressed you can't even talk.
Yeah, no, I missed the line. Matthew, go ahead. Sorry, I hit it now.
Hey, this is Matthew and Pablo, the quality guys.
Say that again?
This is Matthew and Pablo, the quality ceiling guys. That
Yeah. I ran into these guys. Yeah. So I ran into these guys in the neighborhood. They work for quality ceiling repair and drywall. Two nice guys. Matthew and Pablo were working on my street on a neighbor's house. And it turns out that they're big MJ Morning Show listeners every morning, and they're proving
every morning, man.
Thanks.
Every morning.
Matthew and Pablo, thank you so much. All right, so it was great meeting you. It was great meeting you on Friday.
Too, man. It was awesome seeing you, man. It was awesome seeing you guys.
All right, so Matthew, you and Pablo, I don't know if you're in the truck right now, but at 8:15, did you reach maximum stress level?
No, there was no maximum stress level at all whatsoever. I mean, mainly our stress level is like towards the end of the day or more towards lunchtime, because that's when problems start arising with your work. So, no, 8:15 is actually more calm than anything.
Awesome. Matthew, thanks for checking in. And again, it was a pleasure to meet you and Pablo, your partner from Quality.
You too, man. I appreciate it, MJ.
Yeah, it's a quality ceiling repair and drywall. Two nice guys, hardworking guys, very, very friendly. All right, a regular listener, a regular here on the MJ Morning Show, Canal in Wesley Chapel. Were you stressed maximally at 8:15?
Today, yes, I was, because I tried a new wake-up routine for my youngest, and my oldest goes to school all the way in Carewood, and we live in Meadow Point. So today, yes, I literally dropped him off at 8:13, and his butt needs to be in seat at 8:15. So today, 8:15 was a very stressful time for me.
How'd you switch up your routine?
So usually I wake up my younger one at 6 o'clock in the morning, when he's used to waking up at 7. So between 6 and 7, there's a lot of tantrums going on because I've woken him up earlier than normal.
Oh, okay.
And so today I was like, let me give him an extra 45 minutes. So I woke him up at 6:45. I still had a little bit of a tantrum. It wasn't as bad. But then I was rushing to make sure that my oldest had gotten his snack ready while he was playing soccer.
But Canal, it was only today. It's not a regular 8:15 thing.
So usually I get them to school by 8 o'clock, and that's in my head that I say myself that it's 8 o'clock, but
Right.
it needs to be 8:15. So I give myself that extra 15-minute wiggle room. But when I'm driving over, that 7:15 to 8:15 time for me is the most stressful.
Right. So the question is, does everyone have...
I am getting stressed out listening to Canal just describe her morning. Oh, my goodness. Canal, please.
Thanks for the call. All right, a couple more here.
Wow, that's something.
Michael in Tampa. Michael, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, how you doing, MJ? So, Michael Rivera, how you been?
Mike, all is well. Did you just hit maximum stress at 8:15 a few minutes ago?
Man, let me tell you, I just got the kids to school, and I just got my wife. After that, all right, so I dropped my wife off before I dropped my kids off to school, which that's already crazy because I have to drive Dale Mabry. And then by the time I drop the kids off to school, I'm already stressed out. And when you mentioned 8:15, I'm like, yeah, that's exactly it, on the money.
There you go. So this fits the profile right here. Michael, thanks for the call. Thanks for listening. Last one on this, Andrew. Thank all the other callers for trying to get in. Terry in Bradenton. Terry, 8:15 apparently is maximum stress time in the morning for most people. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
8:15 or
Totally.
or is it 8 o'clock or 8:30 or it's 8:15 for you?
Well, it was 8:15 for me today, taking my grandson to school, but it's the traffic.
Yeah.
The traffic. I'm waiting for everybody to get the heck out of Florida.
It's out of control. You're calling from Bradenton. It's everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
It's in the entire listening area. You know, you head out to eastern Hillsborough County where you had the county roads out there and it was just quiet, 6:30, 7:30 in the morning. You could just take a nice cruise. And now it's backed up. It's out of control. The traffic everywhere is jammed. Terry, thanks for the call. Try to de-stress and not implode. If you want to hear something bizarre, you've come to the right place. Do you know what mechanophilia is?
Does it mean where you want a mechanic to feel you up? Or you're afraid of a mechanic feeling you up? I mean, that's the two words put together.
You're not far off, but it has nothing to do with mechanics groping you, Roxanne. Is that a fantasy?
I mean, for some people, I'm sure it is. You know my fantasy.
Electrician.
Lineman for the power companies.
I don't need them to get out of their trucks. I just it's my fantasy to watch those drive by.
You might have mechanophilia.
Maybe I do. Okay, what is it?
All right. A North Carolina man was charged with crimes related to what police call mechanophilia, mechanophilia. And mechanophilia is the sexual attraction to vehicles or machines. So essentially, you're doing it with machines or cars.
Oh my gosh.
I think I saw one of those guys on TV one time.
Oh, I'm sure you got some YouTube channel that you watch.
No, remember the guy who had a red car? And
Was it a Jerry Springer episode?
There was a guy who married his car.
It was like a red.
It was like a Fiero or something.
Yeah. And he would lick it and kiss it, and he had sex with it. I swear we played it on the show.
We probably did. It sounded familiar. A North Carolina man was just arrested after a months-long investigation into activity related to mechanophilia.
I think guys have this more often than women, right?
Or sexual attraction to vehicles or machines. Walter McRae, 52 years old, was seen on video on surveillance tampering with a victim's vehicle back on April 7th. And he was arrested, jailed in the county jail, charged with 1 count of felony stalking, 5 counts of damage to property, 5 counts of injury tampering with a vehicle. So the guy apparently was having sexual relations with the car.
In the tailpipe? How does it work?
I'm not going to fall for the old banana in the tailpipe trick.
I mean, that's the only spot.
How did the car seduce him?
Oh, the gas nozzle.
I always had a thing for Herbie.
Isn't mechanic? The more I say that word in my head, the more it sounds like a great pickup line in a bar, like a mechanic. Mechanophilia? Mechanophilia?
Mechanophilia. I mean, folks, you learn something new every day, that there are people that have a sexual attraction to a machine or a car.
Hey, we're all going to have mechanophilia once sex robots are mainstream.
Whoa.
Now, hey, I've got a couple of those stories.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, they're in the pile today. And, we might be able to get into that a little later on here on the MJ Morning Show. So hang on. This is ridiculous, and this is just an example of propaganda. We're all aware of what happened with Iran and Israel, right? So
over the weekend?
Yeah, the Israelis went after a diplomatic installation in Syria that belonged to Iran. Iran, over the weekend, fired a barrage of missiles and drones and rockets at Israel, of which 99% were taken out by the Iron Dome, the Israelis. The U.S., we actually helped to shoot things out of the sky.
Yep.
There was minimal damage in Israel. However, the propaganda that Iranian TV is playing to try to demonstrate to the Iranian people how they turned Israel into a flaming ball of fire, this is unbelievable. Iranian state television showed Israelis panicking and screaming and running. Guess what?
What?
They were not Israelis screaming and panicking and running. They showed file old video of crazed fans of Louis Tomlinson, formerly of the band One Direction. And they...
That's great journalism.
No, listen, they don't. It's not journalism. They don't care about journalism. It's propaganda. So they used some footage of screaming, running girls saying that it was Israelis panicking at the Iranian missile barrage, and it turns out it's fans of this former screaming Israelis, just One Direction, Louis Tomlinson fans. And then it goes further. Then Iranian TV was showing massive fires and blazes. Turns out that Iranian propaganda, state television, they were showing fires from a forest fire in Chile, and then another was one of the wildfires in Texas. And they're showing that as Israel on fire because they fired missiles at Israel. So...
Not cool.
You can't believe everything that you're told and everything you see. Pretty ridiculous. We have confirmation, ladies and gentlemen. And does he get it back? Do you remember the piece of space junk that smashed through the roof and through the second floor to the bottom floor of a house down in Naples?
Yeah, like a space station junk or something?
It was believed that it was from the International Space Station, that it was junk, and... They picked up the space junk. They brought it to NASA at the Kennedy Space Center at Cape Canaveral, and it has been confirmed that, yeah, it came off the International Space Station. But does the guy get it back now? What happens to it? So NASA confirmed yesterday that the mystery object that smashed through this guy's home last month in Naples, just south of us, was in fact space junk that was discarded from the International Space Station. It was this cylindrical object. It ripped through the home back in March, and they took it for analysis, and it's been confirmed. It was apparently a metal support used to mount old batteries on a cargo pallet for disposal, and the pallet was jettisoned from the space station in 2021. And the space junk just fell through this guy's house back on March 8th? Just happened.
Jeez.
Up in orbit. I mean, listen, the amount of space junk up there is it's unfathomable, the amount of crap that's actually up there. It's amazing that more stuff doesn't fall out. The bulk of it burns up. Yeah. And it was believed that this load He said load. It was expected that this load was going to burn up upon re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere, but this piece survived, and the homeowner was Alejandro Otero. And Alejandro, he was out of town, but his son was almost hit. He was feet away. This would have killed his kid.
Oh, sure.
You imagine you're in your house and crap from the International Space Station, a metal chunk from outer space, comes flying through your house? And who pays for that? That's one thing I didn't see.
Is that an insurance claim?
Does it, or, you have all kinds of writers, all kinds of disclaimers.
Is space junk one of the writers?
Force majeure, act of God, act of war. I don't know if space junk falling from the International Space Station is covered by your standard homeowner's insurance policy.
It's not an act of God, and I don't think it's an act of war. Here's a picture of the actual space junk, MJ, that was a pound and a half. Or it was 4 inches tall and about 1.5 inches wide, and it weighed about 1.6 pounds.
Yeah.
Here's the actual junk compared to how it looked new.
That's it. Oh, yeah. So does this guy get this back? I mean, after all, it hit his house. Unbelievable. So the question is it covered by your homeowner's insurance?
At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
What a great Farmers commercial.
Yeah, really. Have you seen this one? Bum, ba, da, bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Jeez. I mean, extensive damage. And again, his son was almost hit. I was shaking. I was completely in disbelief. What are the chances of something landing on my house with such force to cause so much damage? I'm so grateful that no one got hurt, and his son was almost hurt. He was on vacation.
They still do that show, Extreme Makeover, where like that guy would come to your house and totally rebuild it.
Oh, Move the Bus?
Yeah.
That whole thing?
I don't know if, is that still on?
Move
I think
that
it is.
bus!
I don't know.
That was that, what's his name? Ty Pending?
Something like that.
What?
Pennington?
Yeah, that
Was
guy.
that it? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not on if we don't know about it anymore. I don't know. But something like that needs to help this guy out.
Got a question for you. Does Coca-Cola taste better at McDonald's?
Yeah.
Dude, there's a whole theory behind this.
There is.
I know all about it.
Is it more? It feels like it's more syrupy, right?
Well,
sweeter.
It's a multitude of things.
Multifaceted.
Do you realize that this has been discussed on message boards, Reddit? This has been the subject of conspiracy theories. Does Coke taste better at McDonald's than anywhere else? Oh, and there's another little theme that Cokes at Disney taste better also.
Now you just tell yourself that by how much you're paying for it.
I haven't heard of that one.
No, this tastes a lot better
No,
here.
but let's focus on McDonald's. So, Fester, you think you know all about the fountain Coke at McDonald's tasting better than anywhere else?
Okay, so first of all,
let me hear what you know.
McDonald's, from my personal research and from research I've seen published in major fast food publications.
And by the way, research for Fester is just cramming crap in his face.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
McDonald's uses double filtered water, and they use a better water than other places.
That is accurate. That is part of the discussion. Yes,
of course you know
that is true.
And the temperature of the soda when it comes out of the machine.
That is true also. Dude, you really do know what you're talking about.
Dare you doubt me with anything related to fast food at all, dude? No, so the temperature of the Coke at McDonald's is so cold, you really don't even need ice for it.
It's a multitude of things that apparently make, and Michelle is always sworn by, that was, before I met Michelle was a McDonald's cheeseburger, small fries, and a medium Coke. That was her subsistence.
The syrup is the syrup, no matter where it is.
No.
Is that different?
Yes.
McDonald's gets a different brew of syrup?
Well, no. McDonald's, according to what I have here, and I don't know if it's still the same, but McDonald's has gotten their syrup delivered in metal canisters.
As opposed to the bags and boxes.
As opposed to the fact that they moved to the plastic bags in the cardboard boxes.
Okay, so I knew that as well. However, but the actual syrup product, when it leaves the manufacturer, is the same product regardless of where it goes. If it goes to your local pizzeria or if it goes to a McDonald's, it's just stored differently.
There's another element as well.
What's that?
Andrew actually said it in my ear. Andrew, would you like to share it with me? What was the other element?
Put it on the air, Andrew.
Andrew, put your mic on.
Yeah. Larger straws.
Yep. Look, the phones are ringing off the hook. Hey, if you work at McDonald's, I would love to hear, are you still getting your Coke syrups, your Coke products, are you still getting them in the metal canisters? And there's a whole litany of things on why there's science behind why Cokes taste better from McDonald's.
But the larger straws allows you to suck up more and give more of more of your mouth a sensation.
Well, that's the deal. The larger straw delivers more of the Coke to your tongue at one time. So it's like a Coca-Cola party in my mouth. You know what? I'll go to phones on this. I took no phone calls yesterday. Today, we're out of control with the phone calls. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047 on do Cokes taste better at McDonald's? And food scientists say yes. So before I go to a couple of calls on this, 800-990-1047. And if you do work at McDonald's, are you still getting the syrups and the metal canisters from Coca-Cola versus most places get the syrups in a plastic bag now inside the cardboard box? So just to recap, that the McDonald's Coke has been the subject of all kinds of chatter, conspiracy theories for quite some time. And most believe, and there is science to suggest that, Cokes do taste better at McDonald's, and it's all part of the formulation. That the water is completely filtered, that McDonald's has some kind of a special filtration system, so they're not just taking city tap water with all of the chemicals, and they're filtering out the chlorine, etc. So Coke tastes better at McDonald's because they filter every drop of water before it goes into the soda fountain. So that takes away any kind of disinfectant taste, or the water hardness will be adjusted because that affects the acidity of the drink. Iron will be removed to limit the color and flavor defects. So there must be a whole protocol to when you build a McDonald's as to how the water is filtered for the machines.
So if you're just a water drinker, to run into a McDonald's and refill your cup with their water is like some of the best water you could find.
But also, it continues that McDonald's pre-chills the water.
Right.
You said that.
Yep.
The water is pre-chilled, and the Coke syrup is also pre-chilled before it goes into the fountain dispenser in the special perfect ratio that factors in melting ice as well, because if the ice melts too fast, then it dilutes the drink.
I tried telling you I've done a substantial amount of research on this
Dude,
exact subject.
You pretty much hit, before I even got to the facts here, you pretty much hit everything there, Fester.
This was my thesis in junior college.
And then it's the straw. That the McDonald's straw is wider than the typical straw, so it delivers more Coke to your taste buds.
Wow.
And then there's a whole science in the ratio of volume of syrup to how many parts water, and that's calibrated. And then again, Coke apparently, well, this was in 2014. The New York Times reported in 2014 that Coke delivers its syrups to McDonald's in those stainless steel tanks instead of the plastic bags. So all those factors apparently make Coke taste better at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Wow.
I'm so impressed with your knowledge base, Fester,
Yeah.
but not surprised.
All right, let's go to phones on this.
Don't be surprised.
So do you agree, or would you like to suggest other places where maybe they follow or adhere to some of these same principles where you also think that you get a great fountain Coke? 800-990-1047. And I'd like to know, seriously, because the intel from New York Times is 2014 on the metal canisters. Is McDonald's still getting the Coke syrup in the metal canisters?
And is it just Coke or is it all the flavors?
Sprite, and Fanta, whatever. 800-990-1047. That's how you get in. 800-990-1047. about the science behind a Coke, man. Tara in Spring Hill. Hey, Tara, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning. Hi, everyone.
Hey.
So my husband used to work for Coke in 2021, and he said that, as you stated, the ratio between the syrup, the carbonation, and the water has to be so exact that it's wild. No other companies or facilities have the machines that Coke or that McDonald's has for their Coke products as well, and they cost so much. McDonald's puts so much money into their machines for their Coke, so it's supposed to be the best Coke around.
Well, that's what everyone's been saying for a while, and then we've got Fester, who knows like 95% of the things I'm about to say already. Tara, thanks for the call. Angelo in Hudson. Angelo, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, MJ. Hey, guys. What's up?
Hey, go ahead.
On US 19 and 52, there's a new McDonald's. They're about a couple years old, and the soda is terrible. You can't even drink it.
Oh, wow. Really?
It's like, oh, my God. We get bottled water if we go there. That's how bad the soda is.
Well, that doesn't make sense because there's a protocol. Oh, wait a sec. Angelo, do you hear that?
No, what is that?
Did you hear that?
No. Yeah, what's that?
That's Fester knows what it is. It's Ray Kroc spitting it in his grave.
Yeah, right now the founder of McDonald's is.
Listen,
oh my God.
he's
I
spitting.
don't know how people drink that soda. It's horrible.
All right, so McDonald's at US 19 and 52 up in is that Hudson or where is that?
Yeah, that's Hudson.
All right, so you're on alert. Go.
Have you talked to the manager? I mean, it seems like it's.
You know what they'll tell you? Drink water.
Calm down, Ray.
Thanks, Ray.
Calm down. Oh, Angela.
Arlene, look at the phones on this,
wow,
man.
Everybody.
Arlene in Tampa. Go, Arlene.
Hey, good morning.
Hey.
So I didn't know all the fun facts, but I'm just happy to know the reason why every time I have a hangover and I wake up in the morning, I go straight to McDonald's to get a large Coke because it's so good.
Yeah, that grease in the burgers and like a sausage egg McMuffin makes you feel good too.
No. Just the Coke.
Just the Coke. Oh, that's all you need is the Coke.
That's it.
Get you going.
It's a hangover remedy for me, and it is really delicious.
Arlene, can I ask how often do you get lit?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah. How often
Every time.
How often are you plowed?
Well, not a lot, but this is definitely my remedy when I do. I guess when I did, and now if it happens every once in a while, that's where I go.
Arlene, thanks for the call.
All
right,
thanks.
All right, Stacy in Largo, every line. Stacy, you're up next.
Good morning.
Hey, Stacy, what are your thoughts on McDonald's Cokes?
Love you guys.
Thanks.
Yes, best hangover cure is a large Coke.
Look at this.
Through the McDonald's drive-thru. When I was...
All right, I hope you're not driving. I hope...
No, I mean, that was my cure. Like, that works. I don't know why, but within... like the second you have that Coke on your lips and you're just kind of like had a dehydration and you're not feeling right from drinking the night before.
So it's like an IV.
It's a perfect
I prefer
cure.
water.
All right, Stacy, thanks for the call.
A long night of drinking?
That's the second hangover.
I mean, maybe the sugar that's in it or something
I
gets
don't
right
know.
to it.
Debbie's in Valrico. Hey, Debbie, MJ Morning Show, you're up.
Good morning, crew. I only get Coke from McDonald's, and I may get a burger from somewhere else, but I go through drive-through for just a Coke only.
Thanks, Debbie. Appreciate it. Lee in Clearwater. Lee, MJ Morning Show. Hi. Lee, are you there?
Oh, yep. Hey, how are you?
All right, go ahead.
So my question was, I was thinking a lot of these fast food places have these fancy dispensers now where you can get hundreds of different flavors.
Oh, the freestyle machines.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, are they still delivering these fancy syrups?
That's a good question.
Canisters or?
Yeah, well, I think do any McDonald's have the freestyle machines?
I think so.
I think they might.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
I don't know.
I think the first one I saw was at a McDonald's.
Gotcha. First ones I saw, the first freestyles I saw were like at PDQ. Or maybe Moe's. I think Moe's might have had some of those early as well. Lee, thanks for the call. Good question. Let's go to Pinellas Park and Jennifer. Jennifer, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
I
I just wanted to say when I was pregnant with my daughter, all I craved was McDonald's Coke. My husband went out one night and he bought me a Coke back from Arby's, and I looked at him and I said, no, I want one from McDonald's. It was so satisfying. I mean, that's what I craved. I mean, nothing beats the taste of McDonald's Coke.
Right. Well, listen, going to Arby's for the Coke. Listen, you go to Arby's for something else.
Arby's, we have the meats.
Yeah. So, they don't have the Coke that Jennifer wants, but they have the meats. All right.
Absolutely. Well, I just want to tell you guys are my favorite show in the morning.
We appreciate that, Jennifer. It means a lot to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great day. One more call. We got to take the break. Wrapping up an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. Michael St. Pete, final say on McDonald's Coca-Cola science.
Yeah, I just want to say that I...
No,
not me?
Not you. No,
another Michael.
Michael
Sorry.
the caller.
Sorry.
I know. Go.
You said Michael St. Pete.
Michael and St. Pete, go ahead.
Good morning, guys. How are you doing this morning?
Doing fine.
Awesome, long-time listener. So, a little difference here. I was a refrigeration supervisor for the Coca-Cola company.
Oh, wow.
And I covered the Tampa, Sarasota region. So there's a lot of different tips you have. For the caller that called in that said that on Highway 19 they have bad soda, the machines actually have adjustable valves inside to control the CO2 that comes into it as well as the syrup. So they need to put in a call for that so then they can come out and adjust that soda. And our technicians can test the soda and they measure it to make sure that it's where it's supposed to be.
All right, well, listen, I'm just gonna dispatch a service call right now on our 100,000 watt radio station. So code 1, code 2, code 3, all codes. Attention.
Oh my God, the alarm!
Look at work. Look at that. He's beeping too. All right, we need all McDonald's refrigeration and soda mixologist specialists. We need you to head to the McDonald's at US 19 and 52 in Hudson to check out the Coke machines there to make sure that they are meeting specifications, because we don't want which is Ray Kroc spinning in his grave.
Also, the machines are actually proprietary to Coca-Cola.
Oh, wow.
So that is all their property. It doesn't belong to McDonald's. We're the ones that facilitate it and make sure that it's running the way it's
Yeah, but McDonald's apparently has special provisions than other places, right?
That is correct. The reason being is because the soda is sold by volume. So in order for McDonald's to have the soda the way they do, they have to dispense and sell a certain amount of soda or products to come out in order for McDonald's to continue having their soda.
Oh, yeah.
They also have the best CO2 in the industry. And just like Fester said, the double filtration.
Oh, wait a minute. You mean CO2? Carbon dioxide is not carbon dioxide everywhere? There's better CO2?
No. That is correct.
I mean, maybe if you use like a more pure oxygen, I don't know.
They have a certain deal with the company that provides them with the best, and that's the difference. You can get soda from McDonald's, from Wendy's, from Burger King, and get Coke, and they will all taste the same. But if you get 2 sodas from McDonald's, you'll definitely know that there should be a lot closer than any other soda that you're drinking.
Gotcha. Thanks for the call. Yeah, look at this. The phones have just blown up on this.
I was not surprised at how much Fester knew about this, but I have to tell you something I recently discovered about Fester. I'll tell you when we return.
Okay, so
Ooh, nice,
hold on. Oh, that's a teaser. So
Surprises me.
Roxanne will tell us something she just discovered about Fester?
It's not bad. It's
All
a
right.
good thing, but it just doesn't make any sense.
I want bad.
Yeah.
It doesn't
we
make...
want bad. Frog, you want bad?
Bad.
I want bad.
We
Yeah,
want
we want
bad.
bad. We want bad.
Doesn't make sense.
Bad. All right, when we get back, whatever Roxanne is going to float, and then also... What?
Whatever Roxanne's going to float.
Also,
what I have.
Also, I've got a pile of horrific local drivers. Have you seen what's going on? Just in Florida and locally, some of the driving that's happening, you've got to hear these stories. I had a really bad event at a Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru. We'll get into that coming up in just a bit. Man, we are packed with another long chunk of the MJ Morning Show next. And also, as we hit the 9 o'clock hour in a few minutes, we'll give away New Kids on the Block with Paul Abdul tickets coming up at the AMP. So free tickets on the way next hour right here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Stand by. And this. This is the MJ Morning Show on Q105. All right, 9:03. You know what I want to hear the hook from One Direction one more time. Do you mind here, Fester?
Absolutely, I love that.
All right, you teased us. Let's go. Pay it off. What is this new revolution? What is this new revelation about Fester?
Okay, well, I love to find new people to follow on IG, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who, like, for informational purposes, whatever subjects I like.
I think you unfollowed me.
No, so sometimes I punish you by not liking your stuff.
Oh, okay.
But I still follow you.
So you and
Yes, because I know you are like a little dog that is like you just work for treats, right? And your treats are lights.
I'm a little dog.
Yeah.
She's right.
I'm a little yappy dog that works for treats.
Yes, you do. And if I don't feel like giving you treats, I do not like your posts.
So if I piss you off or if I do something you don't like, you punish me by not liking my posts on Instagram.
Yes,
at Certified MJ Radio.
I give you like deprivation because I hit you where it hurts.
Oh, speaking about dogs and
I'm
treats, did you see that I posted a little video yesterday? Both my dogs refuse to eat banana. My dogs, my Jack Russell Terriers, will eat anything. When I'm like making a salad, and the biggest score in the world for Scout, our female Jack Russell, when I'm taking a head of romaine lettuce and I'm like taking the outer, leaves off if they're kind of, bruised or if they're like
wilted,
munged up. Scout will wait on the floor, sitting down, wagging her tail, and the biggest score is for me to give her the outer leaf off of the romaine lettuce head. And she grabs it like I just gave her a pound of gold. And she runs off with it and just munches that down. But bananas, do most dogs hate bananas?
Oh, man, I don't know.
But, going back, though, seriously, going back to my other Jack Russells, every dog I've ever owned does not eat banana. Is that a thing?
Are you supposed to give them banana? I know you're not supposed to give them grapes.
Banana's not unhealthy for them, is it?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
But it's almost like there's some instinct that it's got like high levels of arsenic or something that they know. No, of course, I'm just making that up. But for whatever reason, my dogs, they will not eat a banana. I'll put a paper clip down and they'll eat that. But but a banana, no. I don't know what it is. All right, and you want to see a cute little video? I shot it yesterday. So Gatsby, our male fluffy Jack Russell, and then our smooth coat female, which is Scout. I'm on the floor. I'm sitting down. I got the banana, and they will not. I mean, Gatsby's like running away from the banana. Like it's...
Did you unpeel it?
Like it's an Ebola spraying machine. Yes, I'm trying to give them chunks.
It's an open peeled banana. He even cut it up, and the dogs are just avoiding it.
Yeah, go take a look. The video is on my Instagram right now, Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio, and like it since Roxanne will not like it. All right.
No, I might like it today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to unpunish me today?
I mean, it depends. We still have an hour left of the show.
Oh, okay. All right. So what is this observation about Fest? This better be good.
Okay, well, just take the Fester.
You held it over.
Yes.
You teased it.
Yeah. This is good for multiple reasons.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So I was chatting with my friend this weekend, Kettle. And
will you stop it with this friend
I
named
showed
Kettle?
you her picture
That's not,
2 days ago.
You showed me some like Google image shot of some attractive woman against a blue background.
Yeah, that's Kettle. That is Kettle. Okay. And so we were talking about just different holistic people to follow on
Get Kettle on the phone. Get Kettle on the phone.
I would never do that to Kettle.
Oh, really?
Kettle doesn't even know this part of my life exists.
Kettle doesn't know that you're on a radio show every morning?
I had no idea.
Where's Kettle from?
She's from Colombia.
Why did you have to think about that?
I just made up that accent.
It sounds like a Kettle accent.
My name is Kettle.
So in any case, she was telling me about this guy.
By any chance, did Kettle see Pablo Escobar taken down by the feds on the rooftop in Medellin? Medellin? Yes?
I think she may have, yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So Kettle looks great.
Seriously, did you ever see the
Of course I know.
Yeah,
you got taken down on the
rooftop.
Those lovely shingles they
Yes,
had.
exactly. Which I could use some of those for my roof. All right, go ahead.
So Kettle looks amazing. And we were talking about various like people we follow on Instagram. And so she says, you've got to follow this guy, Gary Brecka. And he's like this, he's a biohacker. He's a health holistic guy. Everything he does, he's so specific about what he puts in his body.
Let me guess. He's got TikTok and Instagram videos of him coming up with some toxic sludge that he drinks every day.
He's got more than that, believe me.
He's got blue-green algae. He's got titanium mungus. He's drinking all kinds of crap.
He is the guy to...
What's his name?
Gary Brecka. Okay. And so what I do naturally is I go and I'm about to follow him and I'm like, okay, let me see what you do is you see what other friends of yours follow him, right? So I'm going to read the ones that follow him. Mark Wahlberg makes sense.
Can I ask, what does this have to do with something you learned about Fester?
We're getting to that.
Can
you have some patience, please?
By the end of the week?
Yeah, the last page of this chapter is I also follow Gary Brecka on Instagram.
Thanks for ruining it. Thanks for ruining it.
That's
okay.
Fester.
We were going to go back to it.
You're a jerk.
You're a jerk. Okay, thanks for having no comedic timing. Here's the deal.
Is that true? You
Surprising,
follow
isn't it?
Gary Brecka?
I follow another guy that does coffee enemas. Big deal. It's Instagram.
Yes, go ahead.
But MJ, this is me like reading through my list to give Gary Brecka credibility. Oh yeah. Okay, Mark Wahlberg follows him. He's in great shape. Cindy Crawford follows him. She's in great shape. I'm going through all these like hot-bodied people who follow Gary Brecka. Brecka and Martine Gramatica. I mean, these are people who care about their health.
Wait a minute. Automatica Gramatica follows Gary Brecka.
These are people who care about their health.
Where does Gary Brecka live? In Breckenridge?
No, he lives in Miami. He's a Miami guy. So all of a sudden, I'm like, Fester sucks. He's on the list too. He follows him.
Fester, you ruin it, man.
No comedic timing.
Fester, obviously Gary Brecka is having no effect on your life at all. Was that an accidental follow?
I watched a Gary Brecka TED Talk while I was eating ice cream and I was laughing.
You thought it was Gary Breakfast.
Yeah. I thought he invented a new Pop-Tart or something.
So like earlier, Fester's knowledge of Coca-Cola products was not surprising. Fester's following of Gary Brecka, the guru of biohacking, holistic medicine, and ultimate healthcare and taking care of your body is kind of surprising to me.
That would have been surprising if Fester didn't ruin it.
You spoil it.
And I'm the one with no comedic timing, apparently.
You're a spoiler, man.
You're going to have a great body, I would imagine, by following Gary Brecka. You're on your way to
it's just Instagram.
The epitome of health.
Yeah. Fester is trying to figure out how to completely do a 180 on whatever Gary Brecka advises. Fester does the opposite. That's why Fester follows Gary Brecka, is whatever he says, Fester does the exact polar opposite. The other side of the compass. All right. So, did you see the armorer from Rust?
Yeah.
Sentenced yesterday? She was all tearful. You should have thought about that before you handed Alec Baldwin a gun with live ammo.
That judge was brutal, too. She was laying down the law before she...
You know what? It's just refreshing to see a tough judge. Unlike, you see these stories out of New York City where these judges are letting these maniacs go free, and then the next day they're pushing some old lady in front of a 4 train, on Lex and 50th. It's like it's out of control. It's story after story where, a student attacked, a Fordham student attacked, and it turns out the guy attacked somebody else like 2 days earlier and the judge let him out. What is going on with some of these ridiculous, lenient judges? It's great to see a judge on the bench just hammer somebody that deserves to be hammered. And the Rust armorer, she was like the 20-something-year-old kid that was responsible for the firearms on the set of the Alec Baldwin Western Rust, where the cinematographer, Helena Hutchins, was killed because Alec Baldwin fired a bullet at her. I mean, there should not have been a live round within 2 miles of that set.
Right.
How did a live round get onto... It just makes no sense. It's unfathomable that it even happened. So she was sentenced to the max yesterday out in New Mexico, and she was given 18 months. So for the involuntary manslaughter, the maximum sentencing guidelines were 18 months. And the judge opted to give her the max and send her to state prison in New Mexico versus a little easier stretch in like a county jail. So she's going away for 18 months.
A year and a half, she's out of here. Now, when is your boy going?
Yeah, it's July. So what does this portend or foreshadow for Alec Baldwin and his upcoming trial? Let me play the judge. Before we get too far away from this, let me play the judge who sentenced. This is Judge Mary Marlowe Summer, who sentenced the Rust armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed yesterday.
I am sentencing you to 18 months of incarceration at a New Mexico women's correctional facility. I find that what you did constitutes a serious violent offense. It was committed in a physically violent manner, a fatal gunshot done with your recklessness in the face of knowledge that your acts were reasonably likely to result in serious harm. You were the armorer, the one that stood between a safe weapon and a weapon that could kill someone.
Yeah.
You alone turned a safe weapon into a lethal weapon. But for you, Miss Hutchins would be alive, a husband would have his partner, and a little boy would have his mother.
You alone stood between a safe weapon and a deadly weapon.
Well put.
Yeah.
I have to tell you something. I don't know if you're aware of this, MJ. You know, another reason that she was given a harsh sentence, you know, the crap she talked about jurors, right?
Yeah. So I was about to get to that.
Okay.
Hannah Gutierrez Reed called jurors idiots and a-holes. You know, jailhouse phone calls are monitored.
Yeah, they are.
You don't have a right to privacy on a jailhouse phone call. And she, in phone calls, called her jurors idiots and a-holes.
Jeez. Did she say it's going to affect her modeling career as well?
This is probably going to be a big hurt to the modeling career. I mean, unless Smith and Wesson is looking for. I couldn't say, damn it.
Smith and Wesson? You can't say Smith and Wesson?
I can. I just lisped it.
He birtationed it.
Here's one more cut from the judge, who I'm just impressed with this judge.
I did not hear you take accountability in your allocution. You said you were sorry. You were sorry, but not you were sorry for what you did. You were sorry for it and hope they can find peace. It was your attorney that had to tell the court that you were remorseful. The word remorse, a deep regret coming from a sense of guilt for past wrongs. That's not you.
And Alec Baldwin, his trial set for this summer in July, I believe.
I bet you he didn't sleep very well last night.
Yeah.
He's like, can you sleep? And he's like, no.
Yeah,
tossing and turning all
his wife with the phony Spanish accent. She's like, ¿Cómo se dice prison en español, Alec?
You're going to be okay, Alec.
Oh, man. Alex,
They'll be playing.
Alec got to go away for 18 months as well. And, what does he have, 19 kids now?
Yeah.
What is visitation day going to look like? Is she going to hire like a Greyhound bus to bring all the kids to see Alec in jail?
And she's going to have to hire like a pony and just different stuff to entertain them while they're there.
Stay away from all the jail cucumbers. How do you say?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know the story, Alec Baldwin's wife, what's her name again?
Hilaria.
Oh, Hilaria Baldwin. Born in Boston. Her mother is a doctor. Her father's a lawyer. She was born in Boston. And for whatever reason, she's got some psychosis where she wanted to lie to people and pretend that she was born in Mallorca in Spain.
See?
Yeah. She was even on the Today Show and tried to pretend that she didn't know how to say the word cucumber in English.
We have, how do you say it in cucumber? Cucumbers.
How do you say it in English?
We have, how do you say it in cucumber?
Cucumbers. Yeah. You wouldn't even say it like that. You'd say, como se dice, right?
Yeah.
You'd say, como se dice cucumber.
She's on a cooking segment on the Today Show a couple of years ago, and that's Alec Baldwin's wife. How do you say, she's got her ingredients, and one of them is cucumber. We have, how do you say cucumber? So she's trying to pretend what are you talking about?
How do you say it in English?
How do you say cucumber in English?
Just like every other word you've been saying in English?
Oh, my God.
Stupid.
I mean, she clearly has a screw loose to play that kind of game.
The jailhouse cucumber.
Yeah, be careful. Stay away from them.
No.
9:18 at the MJ Morning Show. The roads in Tampa Bay around the state of Florida are just getting dangerous, man. A couple of stories. The traffic is out of control. the horrific, reckless, distracted drivers out of control. The road rage is horrific. The discourteousness of other drivers, like not wanting to let you in and speeding up when what big deal is it if they just let you in? I mean, it's just out of control out there, and I see it every single day. And I'm 100% guilty of this. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But some of these recent stories, like this branded guy smashed into the express lane gates on the Selman. You know when they close the Selman?
Yeah.
You know, Fester, didn't you ask the question, hey, how effective are those Selman gates to stop you from driving the wrong way?
I've seen these gates now for years, and I've always wondered.
Test them. You wanted to test them.
Can they really stop a car?
You've wanted to drive through them to see if they work.
I've been curious. They stop a car.
Well, apparently this guy was curious. A Brandon man was hospitalized yesterday. Why? He barreled into two gates.
Jeez.
On the Selman Expressway on the crosstown. A 55-year-old was driving a 2017 Infiniti Q60 when, according to FHP, he allegedly lost control.
Have you seen the pictures, Froggy?
Oh, yeah. Look at this. His car is effed. It's total. Yeah,
oh, my God.
And the gate is still, like, standing, and his car looks like it was crunched by one of the Transformers.
Strong gate.
I mean, I was thinking, the gate's only held up by like the swing arm side. You could blow right through.
I thought they blew apart like balsa wood.
No.
Yeah, like
no.
Like airport parking gates, Man, I'll tell you what. Whatever this gate is, if you want to prevent folks from bashing through gates at parking lots, put this gate in, because this guy's car is wrecked. So, to answer the question. Do the gates that stop a wrong-way driver from driving the wrong way on the express lanes on the Leroy Selman Crosstown, do they work? A resounding yes.
When they built that elevated...
Or as Hal Herman would say,
yes.
When they built that elevated lane, the salesman for the gates like, oh, yeah, this will stop anything. And they're like, okay, we'll take it. But, boy, it did the job.
It did. Oh, it absolutely did. Then... we had some kind of bizarre, like, double carjacking on the Courtney Campbell? What is this? 25-year-old man has been arrested. According to TPD, he carjacked two vehicles on the Courtney Campbell.
Damn.
And then crashed into a police car and a tree in St. Pete. So this happened Sunday, 6:30 p.m., Tampa police, they get a call about an armed carjacking on the causeway. How does that happen? You like at the traffic light where the boat ramp is? Or how do you get carjacked?
There's a lot of cars. Have you ever been on the causeway on the weekend, MJ? There's so many cars.
You got all the side little...
there's a ton
of
cars.
I guess Ben T. Davis.
Yeah, but all the way down.
Yeah,
Even when it gets really narrow, they park off the road. It's crazy down there.
Yeah, you got the little side roads that you can drive on slowly to... whatever you do in the mangroves over there, I don't...
It's a beach. That's Gandhi.
Yeah.
You're thinking of Gandhi.
No. No. When you get near the Clearwater side, you have the...
Yeah, but that's not the mangroves and the mangroves legend.
Hey, when I get off at 4th Street...
there's always cars pulling over.
Yeah. I'm getting off at 4th Street, because they've now opened the 4th Street exit after 3 years. They've opened up 4th. Instead of us going down to Ulmerton and taking MLK now to the studios. And every single morning, 4th Street, I get off of 275 South after crossing the Howard Franklin from Tampa, and there are like 4 or 5 cars parked in the mangroves. I'm like, at 5 o'clock in the morning, like, what's going on there?
You're not the only one getting off at 4th Street.
I believe they're fishermen.
No.
Maybe. That's probably the explanation.
Fishing in the dark.
But... Antoine Cummings approached a driver and asked to use his vehicle to charge his phone, and then pulled out a gun and then stole the car.
Jeez.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was the Courtney Campbell. And then I guess there was another. Then he demanded another car. Then he carjacked a teenage girl who was sitting in a Nissan, showed the gun, demanded the keys, fled the scene in the girl's car. So, 2 carjacking attempts here. And then finally gets over to the St. Pete side and then crashes into a tree. So if he was on the Courtney Campbell, I guess he'd have to go through Clearwater first and then headed to St. Pete?
Take down the Bayside Bridge.
Yeah.
And they caught him on 54th Avenue South.
Yeah. He was well into Pinellas.
Yeah.
Wow. Unbelievable. And then we got a woman with unpaid traffic tickets led FHP on a 120-mile-an-hour chase. Yeah, that's how you handle unpaid traffic tickets. Is you flee and elude troopers at $120. Yeah, woman's license was suspended due to unpaid tickets, so she fled. Waynisha Rikia Toombs, 27, was driving a maroon Nissan. This has happened on Sunday.
What was her name?
Waynisha Rikia Toombs.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, she hit speeds of 120 miles an hour. Yeah, trooper tried to pull her over. They finally found out that she was arrested on charges of fleeing to elude. She was booked at the Sumter County Detention Center. They ran a computer check, found that her driver's license was suspended for non-payment of traffic citations out of Miami-Dade. So it's out of control. I mean, the roads are... And then, hey, here's another one. You know what? Let me save this until after the break. We got a Camaro driving 200 miles an hour. 200 miles an hour. All right, quick break. The final chunk of the MJ Morning Show will also give away the New Kids on the Block with Paula Abdul. Those tickets are on the way in minutes here on the MJ Morning Show. Hey, with all of these maniacal drivers, folks... Chloe was in excruciating pain over at St. Joe's, and they treated her very well. It was a great experience at the St. Joseph's ER. But as I was sitting in the ER with Chloe and looking at my I haven't heard that in a while. Just felt like playing it.
I love that song.
Tying it into the ER visit. You know, it just kind of worked. 9:34 at the MJ Morning Show. Yeah, one more insane Florida road story on the Turnpike. 20-year-old kid, 199 miles an hour.
Oh, man.
Yeah. That was, remember, we talked about this, I don't know, weeks ago, but there's an update. The 20-year-old who was recently caught doing 199 has copped to a reckless driving charge. He pleaded no contest to misdemeanor count of driving at that kind of speed. He was in a court hearing recently, paid $900 in fines and court fees, has to complete a 12-hour aggressive driving class.
That's pretty serious.
Lorenzo Figueroa was arrested back in January. I remember we talked about this originally. Wasn't he driving his dad's 2016 Camaro? 1 a.m. Florida Turnpike in Orange County. He was clocked at 199 in a 70 by FHP.
It's like NASCAR pace.
I mean,
right?
Dude, that is like faster than takeoff speed for a Boeing 757. You know, it's. Can you imagine hitting something at $1.99?
It's over.
Yeah.
Doesn't
it's
matter what
more
you're
than
in.
over. You're
Yeah.
dust.
Anyway,
In
so
the wind.
that's it? A reckless driving and a $900 fine? That's it? For 200 miles an hour? That seems a little bit light. Oh, if you're a Schweppes ginger ale fan and you just can't stop sucking back those sugar-free Schweppes.
Mm-hmm. The
There's-
sugar-free ones, not the regular
nope,
ones?
Sugar-free
Okay.
Schweppes, which Schweppes brand is owned by PepsiCo. Egregious, massive, terrible error. They accidentally put the full sugar Schweppes ginger ale into the sugar-free. Man, this diet Schweppes tastes amazing.
You can't even tell the difference.
Oh, man, this stuff is fantastic. This is the best diet soda I've ever had.
It's like the frozen yogurt at Seinfeld episode.
Yeah, it was supposed to be fat-free.
Fat-free, and there's fat.
It was loaded with fat. Yeah, so little production mishap put apparently the regular Schweppes ginger ale into the sugar-free cans. Full sugar ended up in sugar-free.
So all that gets recalled, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, what if you have like a diabetic or something?
Dangerous.
Schweppes could kill them, you know?
Sweep 'em away.
How'd they die? Schweppes.
The Schweppes.
My kids love ginger ale, and they fake illnesses all the time to get it. They'll be like, "Oh, my belly hurts."
Oh, because the whole thing, you drink ginger ale when you're sick. Oh,
yeah, we don't let them
It makes
have
your
any
tummy feel better.
Yeah, we don't have any soda in the house except for this stuff.
And White Claw.
We never.
We got plenty of that.
and Dig Dug's the cases of White Claw.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, the most drinkingest White Claw male in the United States of America is Roxanne's husband, Dig Dug.
Yeah, the kids see the White Claw billboard and go, "There's Daddy's billboard."
You know, that's
Wow.
great. That's great.
Wow.
Yeah, how do you know when you have a problem? When the kids call the White Claw billboard your dad.
No,
Yes.
it's sad when your kids know exactly what his favorite flavors are and like what his ranking of his flavors. No, he doesn't like Truly as much. He'll have a White Claw, watermelon White Claw. He likes that. Like it's sad when they know the exact order.
So
preference.
we did the same thing. We had no soda in the house. But if you want to know the truth, you take a glass of orange juice, and there's more calories and sugar in a 12-ounce glass of orange juice than in a 12-ounce can of Coke or Pepsi. You realize that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Anyway, so heads up. If your ginger ale tastes really, really good and it's zero sugar, there's a reason why. Because it's 100% sugar. It's full sugar. We had an incident at Dunkin' Donuts. This is bizarre. It happened here in Florida. It happened in Lauderdale Lakes down in Broward County. And I have not seen where they've been able to put the story together, but the guy in the Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru, the guy working, the guy inside Dunkin' Donuts, fired a gun at a customer in the drive-thru lane. So what was this? I mean, I've got some theories I'll get to in a second, but a person has been detained for questioning after cops said that a Dunkin' Donuts employee fired a gun and shot a man in the drive-thru yesterday morning in Lauderdale Lakes. Deputies showed up with the Broward County Sheriff's Office. They found a guy that was injured with a gunshot wound around the drive-thru area. This was one of those Dunkin' / Baskin Robbins.
Oh, that's one of my favorite combos.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Donuts and ice cream. You can get donut a la mode.
I'll take. Do you do that?
You could order it. Yeah.
Give me a chocolate donut and put all kinds of ice cream around it
and sprinkles,
and then pour a whole culotta on it as well. Yeah. So this guy was shot. The Dunkin' employee flees. So the last I saw, he's still on the run. I mean, America runs on Dunkin'. This guy runs from Dunkin'. All right. So the employee fled, shoots. Now let's think about this for a second. Why would a customer in the drive-thru get shot by the guy working inside a Dunkin'?
Did he throw something at him? Did he
no?
What is it called? Like a hot rocket when you throw something hot back into the.
That's terrible. Throwing a hot coffee cup back at them.
Yeah.
Well, listen, that was a thing for a while. We talked about this about 3 years ago. There was this whole YouTube prankage, and for social media morons, where the food would come through the drive-thru window to the customer in the car, and they would roll video of them throwing the drink like back at the employee and just dousing them. I mean, that was awful. Something probably Froggy would watch all day and laugh at.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'd watch it.
Yeah. But they don't know what the story is, or at least as of what I saw last night, they don't know why the Dunkin employee shot the guy in the drive-thru and then flees. Happened at 8:30 in the morning yesterday. Deputies identified the suspect, and as of last night, they were actively looking for him. They didn't release his name just yet. But listen, the guy's like armed and dangerous. I mean, 1 minute the guy's serving, Dunkin' Munchkins on a skewer, and the next minute he's firing a hot round of lead at this guy in the drive-thru.
He's wanted.
So the officials in Lauderdale Lake say we're aware of the incident and we're actively investigating. I mean, what was the cause of this? You know, sometimes they have that little sign that if your change differs from what's on the digital, you ever see that little box?
Yeah.
Contact the manager, and they have the little digital display that shows you what your change is, and if your change varies. I mean, who pays with cash anymore? I think those signs are pretty much gone. But, I mean, could this have been a drug deal gone bad? You know, that's been a thing where you've had drive-through employees that have been operating their illicit drug business through the drive-through, that people were just driving up. And that was the gimmick, that you go order a burger, and then you also get your crack rock, you get your meth, you get your pot or whatever. What?
I'm just amazed at how much you know about drive-through drug operations. Hey, you just drive through, you eat your meth, you get your pot. You get your
Listen, we've talked about this in the past. This is not new to us.
I know.
Yeah. All right. You saw that H&R Block. The worst day for you to have computer issues. H&R Block's computers went down, and a bunch of people had trouble filing yesterday.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah, you got one job. Make sure that your computers are operated. One job.
That's it.
H&R Block. You got one job. Make sure your network is operating on April 15th. And the H&R Block, I guess a lot of people had problems. You know, some people had no issues, but a lot of people. H&R Block tried to say that, it's up and running for most people, which might be the case. But all I know is that I saw plenty of news reports yesterday that H&R Block said that many users did have problems on tax day.
Old Henry and Richard Block.
Yep.
Those sons of bitches.
Henry and Richard.
They were lovers, apparently.
No, they weren't. They were brothers.
Oh, lovers, brothers. I'm sorry, I misread it.
Yeah. I think that's it. I think we're going to call it a day. Anything else before we get out of here? Cash Kitty's on the way at 10 o'clock. We do have tickets to give away. Would you like to win some concert tickets right now? It is easy. I'll take caller 30 at 800-990-1047. If you're caller 30 right now, you'll win New Kids on the Block with Paula Abdul and DJ Jazzy Jeff. Unfortunately, the Fresh Prince is not available.
Oh.
And he wants me to take his name out of his mouth.
He was just at Coachella.
Yeah. All right, so New Kids, Paula Abdul at the amphitheater in July. I'll take caller 30 right now, 800-990-1047. If you're the 30th caller, you win from the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Folks, my Instagram is Certified MJ Radio. Check it out. A lot of stuff up there. Give me a follow. Roxanne Wilder on Instagram. Fester Sucks on Instagram. Froggy MJ Radio on Instagram. And my private email address is mj@mjmorningshow.com with hot tips, gossip, whatever you need us to know. And we'll see you tomorrow morning, and let's be careful out there.